here. It's big. And it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the bike. Watch it live on the web. Or play it if you dare. At the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.
Hello everyone and welcome to Live at the Bike, brought to you by the Bicycle Casino in Los Angeles, California, the first and only webcast of real action cash game poker. My name is Bart Hansen. I'm here with Nicole Pepe. Boston will be in here with me tomorrow. Dave's still in Vegas. He will be back on Monday. Tonight we're going to be doing a 300 to 500 no limit hold'em game, 5-5 blinds. Got a little competition tonight, a little live final table of the World Series main event going on at the same time. We'll keep you up to date with that. I'm actually TiVoing that on my pay-per-view at home. Not so much for the event, but just to watch the live commentary.
Oh,
see how good it is. So let's head over to the table and let's get into this thing. Let's go around and introduce the table. Seat number 1. We've got Ed. Never seen him on the show before. Eddie, sporting the olive shirt. Seat number 2. Eli. Eli, I think he's played a couple of times before. In seat number 3, we've got Matt. Matt's a very solid player, Nicole. Long history playing with him, right?
Yeah.
He's a prop now.
He is.
Oh,
yes.
really? Seat number 4, we've got Yoon, or Yun.
That's what I was wondering.
Yun. We'll call him Yun. And he's a new player as well. Seat number 5, Julie. She is also new. There's a lot of new faces here. Seat 6, we've seen him before. That's Jim. I played with him for most of the afternoon in the 5-10 game. Seat number 7, the ever-lovable Dr. Beebe. There he is, Dr. Beebe. He's been playing the 3-5 game recently, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Hasn't been playing that high since Vegas. So he's kind of
taking a
trying
break.
to, take a little step down, just maybe a little bit relaxing mentally. Seat number 8, we've got Michael, and Michael needs to take his electronic equipment out of his ear. He is also new. Seat number 9, we have Jennifer Bankston eating a little cracker with her SpongeBob SquarePants backpack.
It's advertising.
Yeah.
Good job, Jennifer.
And there is Jennifer. So we're playing 5-5 no limit. Yellows are $5 chips. And we're going to get right into the first hand here. You can see what's up here. Looks like Matt has the best hand here with 6-7. And looks like Jim is just going to take a shot at it. He's just bet out here with Queen 3. Just kind of a total bluff.
Huh? Yeah. I think got better.
And that's going to get it done. Jim takes it down right there. Unbelievable. Queen high takes it down. Again, you can email us at liveatthebike.com. Questions, comments, suggestions. Always appreciative. Nicole and I just shot a new episode of the video blog, which I believe will be up. It's up now.
Wow.
So after the show, you can take a look at it. As always, you're watching a free half-an-hour portion of the show. If you want to watch the show in its entirety, click on the on-demand banner. Sign up for the archives. Gets you the entire 3-hour broadcast every night. Gets you access to every show that we've ever done. It's a great learning tool. Improve your no-limit cash games here. It looks like it's limped around 4 ways. 10-5-9 rainbow here.
9-5-9, I think.
Ah, yes, 9-5-9. You're right.
Nobody has anything except for Eli.
A couple people have fives, Jim and Eli, and now Jim picks up a flush draw.
Yep.
And it gets checked around here on the turn, and the river here is an ace. And now Jim is going to come out and bet. And this will be chopped up there if Eli calls, but he does not call. And just throw the thing right at the guy in the hat over there on the cards. That's what we like to do sometimes. Jim won there with 3-5, a pair of 5s, 9s and 5s with an ace kicker. It would have been chopped up if it went to showdown. Yeah, Ronnie, the thing was that there was only 2 people in on the flop. But moves over here to seat 1. Again, yellow chips are $5 chips in this game. Looks like Matt's got king, queen suited here in the big blind. $20 open raise here by Michael with 9-10 of spades, and Matt is going to call. Matt's a pretty solid player, right?
Yes, very solid. He likes to get a little crazy every once in a while, but it's the beginning of the game. I doubt anyone's going to do anything.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, both players missed this flop. The turn is a king, 8-6-3 here. A couple of diamonds. King of spades here on the turn. Now Matt bets with the king.
Matt's actually a great tournament player.
Yeah.
Him and another friend of his moved to Vegas for a little while, and he did quite well.
That's Kenny, right?
That's right.
Well, the thing that I always question, because I've done it, and you and I have done it for over a year, is Matt seems to be a very, very solid, very solid no-limit player, a guy that can consistently make money in this game, in the 3-5 game. Why prop?
I think everyone likes that security. You know, both you and I, I'm sure, have had our down times. It's nice just to know, okay, you know, even when I'm down, I'm going to have that paycheck coming every other week.
That's limped around here 3 ways. Dr. BB limped in and in the blinds. So it's a $15 pot. BB flopped a flush draw here. Ace, King, Jack. Seat 4's got King 10. And BB's going to bet. He's going to semi-bluff in here. He bets 20. And Yun's got King 10. He's got middle pair and a straight draw. There are 2 clubs out there. And he folds. Wow, pretty tight there. Yun didn't even take a stab at it there. I probably would have bet that flop. I don't know. Turn would have been a club. BB would have gotten there.
And you notice Matt had 10-4. He has told me that is his favorite hand.
Yeah,
So.
he was in the small blind, which in this game you get a free ride in the small blind because it's 5 and 5 blinds. So we had an email here. I think it was late last night. And if I can find it here, it was from James. And this actually came this morning. He says, I was just wondering if there are any plans to make the show available to subscribers in podcast form. Would love to be able to watch the show while I'm on the go or at work. Well, I got word that it is in podcast form. Just highlights. And it's in queue on iTunes. They're waiting to approve it. It's on our special features page right now. So if you click on the left-hand side of the screen, go to special features, you can sign up, and then hopefully shortly it will be in the iTunes list of podcasts where you can subscribe for free.
Wow, great.
8-5 deuce here on the flop, checked around, limped around, turns a deuce. Jennifer's got the nut flush draw now.
Yun gets
Actually, she does
trip
not.
deuces.
Yep, Yun's got trip deuces. And Jennifer is actually just going to take a stab at it here with ace high. And Yun is just going to check call. Wow. I don't know if he's trying to slow play here or what. Well, the river's a 10, and I guess, is Jennifer going to try and make a bluff at it here? Or is she just going to give up? Well, now Yun is going to bet.
He's going to fold, yeah.
Now it looks like Yun's going to bet.
30.
Kind of just gave her a free card. Jennifer's out of there. The problem there is that Jennifer had a 5 or an 8 that she checked the flop with and then bet the turn. Now the 10 comes and it's another overcard, and she doesn't get involved. Kind of a little bit of an action killer. That email came from James 3 Beers Craig in Jacksonville, Florida. Again, you can email us here at liveatthebike.com. You can follow a live thread started on the internet by going to 2plus2.com, spelled out. Click on forums, televised poker. Our good moderator buddy, Kev Math, starts the thread every night. And Matt is going to raise it up here to 15 with 7-3 of spades. Or 7-3 offsuit here. And Jim is going to call.
He does get a little crazy sometimes.
Well, Jim called with queen 6. He's hit top pair. I don't know how hard he can play this, though.
He did bet out.
He did
and
bet.
Matt folded.
Yeah. Not a bad play. I mean, to check call with queen 6, I always like to try to get some information in there, Now, can we talk about how your new position here at the casino?
Sure.
Because I think it's the best gig in town.
All right.
If anybody knows, Mo is the host of the No Limit.
Yeah.
Tony Chang, I believe is his last name, right?
Yeah, I don't even know.
Asian gentleman. He helps Mo, and now you're coming on to be a No Limit host as well.
I am. I'm joining the team.
You are going to start up the 3-5 game early in the morning, right?
Yes, I'm going to work Tuesday through Saturday, 9 to 5.
Great.
Come see me.
I think that's a great gig.
Thank you. I do too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have taken it if it wasn't for Mo, really. I mean, like you, I was playing on my own for a while. And
Yeah.
I like it, but it is, like you asked the question, what is it about working, especially in this position playing a host? It's a lot different than a prop.
Now, you had some choice words. I don't know who Jamie Gold is. I'm looking at the latest card player.
Oh, look at a picture. You probably will. He plays here a lot.
We've got 7. There's 6 people left. Doug Kim just got knocked out. Jamie Gold now has 38 million chips. Now, you tell me what you thought about his live cash game.
No, I don't want to.
Oh, okay. You thought it was kind of almost live, right?
Yeah,
You play with him a lot?
The guy has $12 million now, so what can I say? But the times that I've seen him, I was not impressed.
Really? Well, obviously this is a tournament, so it's much different.
Yeah, it is. It's true. It's different, and I'm very happy for him. I think he came here a lot, so hopefully he still does when he's now a new multimillionaire.
Well, Yun has raised it here with 9-10. He got 3 callers, and he's flopped the best hand. He's got top pair 9-6-4 rainbow. It's about a $60 pot here.
50.
And he's going to bet 50.
How do you do that? You raise pre-flop with 9-10 off, and then you hit it.
Well, Jim's got middle pair here. He's got backdoor hearts, kind of like a backdoor straight type draw. Is he really going to get involved? Now, the interesting thing about Jim, though, is that he plays higher. He's kind of playing this game just to play on the show, so you wonder if he'll play it a little bit looser. He's a pretty solid player in 5-10. Turns the deuce. Well,
Now it gives him more out.
yeah,
So
Jim's
Jim
got a
will
straight draw
probably
now.
call.
Pot is now $145, and Yun is going to come out and bet again with a 9. He bet 75, kind of a half pot size bet. Jim could catch a 6, a 3, or a 5, but you have to think that he's not going to get paid off unless the 6 hits, because it's going to be a one-liner to a straight. Yun really doesn't have that strong of a hand here. He does have top pair.
You can tell he really wants to call. If he was deeper, I'm sure and if that deuce was a heart, he would have been in there in a heartbeat.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can really tell he is a 5-10 player.
Well, that's why I like to play the 5-10 game, when you can start off deep and you can make, you can make a call on the flop, not necessarily knowing that your hand is good, but you're almost kind of floating one off. You might be looking to pick up a draw on the turn, and those backdoor flush hands against big hands, like say a guy flopped a set and you make a backdoor flush, those are the ones that you win the most money on.
Yeah. I hate flopping the nuts because can do nothing with it.
You hate flopping the nuts?
Never improves. It only can get worse. So I'd rather be the one with the runner on a flush.
Really? Oh, in
Yes.
terms of winning the most money.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, unless you're in there with the nuts against someone with a set. And Jennifer's got pocket kings here in the big blind. Jim is going to call with 9-10. Small blind's coming in with 6-4 of diamonds. And Jennifer's pretty straightforward, and she's going to raise.
Absolutely. And Matt's going to call her instantly.
Now, does Matt play against Jennifer? Like they play hard on the
He
table?
just did. He just called her. So,
I know they're good friends.
He called her with 2-5.
She made it 40 to go.
So it wasn't that much.
We've got a $120 pot here. 9-10, deuce 5, and pocket kings for Jennifer.
Wow.
And now she's got top set. Well, it's 3 flush out there. She's not going to slow play it. She's going to bet. She hits
That's it.
50.
I'm surprised.
50 into about a $120 pot. And you wonder, Jim only has the 9 of spades. It's almost like Jennifer's playing this, like I wouldn't be surprised if she had ace-king with the ace of spades here.
Right.
That's the type of bet that you might put into this board. Not really scared of much. Maybe want to get somebody to call you with a king.
Matt
With a
even
lower
says
flush
to
draw.
her, pocket kings are good.
And she takes it down. The lovely Jennifer Bankson, who we've had in here in the past on the show.
She wearing sunglasses?
Looks like it.
Wow.
Again, you were watching a free half an hour of Live at the Bike. We were playing 5-5 no limit, 300 min, 500 max. Yellow chips or $5 chips. I'm Bart Hansen in here with Nicole Pepe. And the button is moved over here to Seat 8. If you want to watch this show in its entirety and watch every show we've ever filmed, you can click on the on-demand banner in the upper left-hand corner of your screen. Check out special features. We just filmed a new video blog episode, and you can subscribe to the podcast where we kind of have highlights of the show. Well, limped around here. Looks like 4 ways. And Julie's got middle set. And I forgot to ask you this question because I always ask it when there's a woman on the table, and I asked it every time when Shirley was in here, and I'll get to it in a second.
I know what it is. You've asked me before.
Oh, have I?
Why are women so weak, passive, or
weak
something?
tight, so damn weak tight.
And I said, that's not nice to say women are bad. You said, I didn't say they're bad. They're weak, tight. That's pretty much saying they're bad.
Well, Eddie comes out and bets here with top pair, and Julie just smooth calls with the set. The turn's a 7, and Eddie's hand really can't take much heat here. And she is going to bet. She's going to bet 25.
25.
And Eddie just lays it down. He's not even going to get involved. And again, like I said, Eddie might have been watching Julie. Maybe Julie would never bet with a hard draw there on the turn. And sometimes you can pick that things up about patterns where she would call on the flop with a hard draw, turns a 7. Eddie can check it to her knowing that she's not going to bet with a hand that he doesn't beat. because she would never semi. I'm not saying this about Julie. I'm just saying against some opponents where she would take the card, and then Eddie kind of knows exactly where he's at.
To be honest, I think most 3 to 5 players would take the card with a draw. You don't see a lot of people betting on draws here. Maybe that's a false statement that you've noticed, but I noticed it a lot. You see a lot of calls with flush draws here, but whereas in a 5-10 game, there's a lot of betting and raising on draws.
Now, Yun is raised here to ace-queen, and again, I point out the fact that Jim is called with a speculative hand. I think he really is playing it loose at a lower stakes. Problem is you're actually supposed to tighten up when it's more of a restricted buy-in game.
He'll learn that. He'll learn that soon.
Look at the flop here for Eli. What a monster.
Beautiful.
Open-ended straight draw with a flush draw, and he's got overcards, and he checked it. Let's see if he check raises. Michael's going to bet with 7-8 here. Eli's hand's really big enough to push. And he just check calls. Wow. I mean, that's a time when I'm deep, I like to lead out into the raiser and maybe get him to raise, and maybe I just push.
Yep.
Yeah.
See what I mean? There's a lot of calling on draws here. Even huge draws like this, people are still just calling.
Well, he now has the top pair, but Michael's open-ended. And now it looks like Eli's going to come out and lead here. And it almost smells like he might have Jack-10. Now he's hit top pair, and now he bets out.
Very important distinction.
And that's it. Michael's out of there.
Yeah, that's how you get away from top pair, top kicker. You raise an ace king and the flop with a king 7 deuce. You hear, unbelievable.
Looks like we got a nice email here from Marvin Carlins, who met David Tuckman at the Lifestyle Show in Vegas. He said, as promised, I want to send you an uncorrected proof copy of our new book, Read 'em and Reap, featuring Phil Hellmuth and FBI Special Agent Joe Navarro, and I think that has to do with tells and stuff. I remember that guy coming in and visiting us. Thanks a lot, Marvin. Do appreciate it. Button moves over here to seat 1.
It's a $15 max. Sir. I didn't hear it. Irwin story?
And it looks like we get a raise here by Jim, and he's going to take it down. Now, it's interesting. Like I said, I TiVo'd the World Series final table just to watch the commentary, and it seems like what Ronnie was telling me, that this guy Eli Najad is a pretty good play-by-play guy, and he's doing it with Phil Gordon right now, so it's going to be interesting to watch. Ronnie says he's no Bart. I think he's what Kev Matt said as well.
So true.
Yeah. Button moves over here to seat 2. And they're going to chop this one up. We're into the first 15 minutes of the show. Matt with the Superman shirt. So is he going to green chip prompt here?
He is a green chip prompt. Yep, he started a couple weeks ago.
I don't know. I just look at it like I was looking over my records, and I put in about 200 hours in the 3 to 5 game. And looks
since
like,
you've been a prop, or
no, just total since the game went on since last March. It's been going on for a year and a half. Looks like my hourly is somewhere in the low to mid $50 range, which I think is very good for the game. And I just, that's a great living to make. I just don't know why a guy like Matt, who could probably beat the game, I mean, maybe not quite that much, but definitely beat it for 35, 30 an hour, why he would want a green chip prop. I don't know, it's just something to throw out there. Now, Jennifer has raised here, and Jim has called, and he is dominated.
Hugely.
Jennifer raised it with ace, jack of diamonds. BB limped in with ace 5. He is out of there. And here we go to the flop. Jennifer in a great position. Wow, Jennifer's flopped the nut flush draw here. And Jim has top pair. We could see some fireworks.
You hate that when you have ace jack against king jack.
Jim is going to check, and Jennifer bets. And Jim is going to just check call here. Can't really play king jack all that hard. Here we go to the turn. Turns is 7. Let's see if Jennifer takes a card now. And now Jim is going to come out and bet on a safe card. He comes out and bets. Check, call, and he bets. Let's see how Jennifer... Can Jennifer semi-bluff here, or is she just going to call?
The pot's about 200 already, right? I think I'd take one off here. I think I'd call.
Yeah, it's about a...
For only $40?
$175 pot. Yeah, now 40. It's about a $200 pot, 40 to call. Her ace is good as well. And she is going to call. I would love if an ace comes out, if Jennifer makes a value bet here on the river if an ace comes. And look at this, an offsuit ace. Jennifer really needs to bet this for value.
You made that happen.
He's going to throw a little blockish bet out here now. He's going to bet 60, and I
she's
think now
worried about the 7.
it's an easy call here for Jennifer, I believe. I don't think she's going to lay it down here, getting about 5-1. It would be a chop against any other ace, but she is good with the ace. But I was saying if it got checked to her, I think it's an easy value bet with an ace on the river there. Now, she does lose to a 7, but would this guy call with a 7 here? Would you ever raise and try to get a guy off of a chop pot here?
Sure, if that's what you think he's on. Maybe he was also on a busted flush draw.
Well, I mean, say he had a weaker ace and you just wanted to get him off of it so you didn't have to chop the pot up. Because you're chopping it here with aces and 7s, the king kicker. I can't imagine she's not going to call here at least. She's asking if she wants to the fold. He's bet 60 here on the river. The pot is about 330. And she is going to call, and the ace is good here with the nut flush draw. So he basically, you know, he almost threw like a little blockish bet in there. He named his price for the river bet. Again, you know, I might even over bet that river with an ace, trying to make it look like I was on busted diamonds or something like that. And she takes it down, about a $390 pot. And yeah, you know, Dave Tuckman's been bashing Filial Barbaria. He won the Stud High Low tournament last night. So he finally got a little bit back into our corporation.
Came back from Vegas and he finally won something.
Putting him into all the Legends events. We're still down. See that, and that's the ultimate question Dave and I have gone through. You look at a guy who wins a tournament. Oh, he must be a great tournament player. Well, no one knows except the fact we've been broadcasting it because we were backing Filial. That, you know, he went 0 for 17 in the World Series and he's actually down tens of thousands of dollars.
Right.
Because no one ever keeps a stat of how many tournaments somebody's entered. Four-way action here.
Ronnie says it's just money. You're made of it, right, Bart?
Limped around. 10-3-10 on the flop. And BB's going to come out and he's going to bet 15 here. Just with the ace high. And that looks like it might get it done. Oh, Jim is going to call. He's got deuce 3. We don't have it up there. Actually, not Jim. Seat 4's got deuce 3. Young. He makes the call. Turns a jack. And now BB checks, and so does Yun. Yun's got the best hand, and the river is a 10, and Yun's got a full house. Well, you bet the 3 here, and he's going to bet. And BB folds. Again, there is always some value to not necessarily showing your hand down, but although at this level, like you said, you wonder if anyone's really paying attention.
Yeah. This level, like you say, it's just a good grinding game. You can literally sit here every day, and even if you barely play a hand, you can make a couple $100 a day.
Now, I assume that because you're a professional poker player as well, you keep pretty meticulous records.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have an hourly that you've figured out in this game? How many hours you put into this game, and what you think your hourly is, or what a good hourly would be?
I was just thinking about that when you said it. And, you know, I have everything in Excel, so I could run a separate spreadsheet to find that out. I just have mine all listed at every table, and and I know you don't like this, but at Commerce and at Hawaiian Gardens, they have a 5-10 game. So I don't have it separated out between the 5-10 and the 5-5.
Oh, I see. We'll get to that more here in a second because I want to bring that up. Matt raised with ace-queen of diamonds. It comes king 9-5, all clubs. It's about a $60 pot. Yun's got the best hand here with king jack. And, you know, it's funny how sometimes this game appears to be tight, but if you look at some of the hands these guys call with pre-flop, king jack is not a calling hand in Matt's raise, is it?
No, not in a 5-10 game for sure. In this game, when people raise $15, you can almost see anything for $15 in this game.
Well, we had an email here from Logan McDonald. He says, the World Series of Poker live commentary, even Phil Gordon, are pretty horrible. Basically just reading the cards as they come up, which I can see. No real input on the hands of any value. Thanks for a great poker show, Live at the Bike. The only real live poker game, in my opinion. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Email here from Alex. He says, is Nicole as good at poker as she is pretty?
It actually says as God at poker.
Oh, yeah,
she's
but
pretty.
on a real note as well, you seem to really like the 5-10 games. Is it because it's loose and you're playing tight like your odds to make money with big hands, or you're banking and outplaying that type of table? Thanks, mate. Love the commentary. Thank you, Alex. And look at this. Julie picked up pocket
Alex.
aces.
Very nice of you.
Matt's starting to change his game up. He's raising. He raised with 9-10 of diamonds here, and Julie re-raised. But look at this. It's only 30 more, and Matt is going to call.
Exactly. That's the hard thing about this game is like when you have big pairs, what do? You raise it.
And look
30?
at this. He's flop top 2. Let's see how he's going to play it. And he's going to lead right out. He's going to lead right out. I actually really like the play here.
And another thing about this 3-5 game is they don't get away from their big pairs.
And you would assume, is Julie going to raise here with aces? I always am a big proponent of doing this. And there it is, and Matt's got all the money in. He bets right into the raiser. She raises. He can move all in now, and he does. He moves all in, and she calls.
Absolutely.
And now she's got some outs. Matt's going to have to get, he said no 8 because that would counterfeit. Oh, now he's filled up.
It's over.
Well, Julie could catch an ace here.
There we go.
But it does not come. I love the way that Matt played that hand. We talk about it all the time. To check raise that flop almost let somebody off the hook. Although in a short stacked game, you can play it a little bit tricky to try to get the money in, but it doesn't look like Julie's raising with ace-king and just betting dry.
Right.
She's that type of player. Against an aggressive player, you might check raise just to get some more money in there, but Matt bet right in, she raised. And look at what is kind of a scary card if he had just check called.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of guys might play that as a check call on the flop. Oh, now I fill up. I'll check the turn. Well, now she checks right behind you. And then I bet a little on the river. And now you leave her with $200, $250, where Matt maximized the value there. Nice hand there by Matt. Button moves over here to Dr. Beebe and
I love
C7.
that hand, too. 9-10 suited.
And she really didn't raise. I mean, he was looking at her stack. He was out of position, but she only really mini raised. So he knew he could call 30 more to win basically 350, and that's what he did.
Right.
Jim's going to raise it up here to 30. He's got ace-queen. And Jennifer doesn't even call in the big blind with sixes. Really surprising. Because it looks like she's pretty deep now, and, Jim's got purple chips there, which are quarters.
I know
Maybe she just didn't want to get involved.
Specifically for her, if she's first in the pot after a raiser with a low pair, like sixes or below, she won't call. If now a couple of people had called in front of her, she would have.
I mean, I understand that, like, in limit.
Yeah, but she is a limit player, remember.
Right. I don't necessarily, against a raise, I almost look at, like, pocket deuces through pocket eights as almost the same hand.
Yeah.
There really isn't. You're trying to hit a set, right? Especially in a multi-way field. The height of the value of the pocket pair really doesn't mean that much. I mean, you can say deuces through sixes. How about that? I mean, that specifically. Got a raise here by Julie. She's going to bring it in with pocket sevens here. And it looks like Jim just called here with ace-king.
Jennifer's out with ace-9.
Look at this. Eddie's got, Eddie has the ace-king. I mixed it up. Jim had queen-4 of hearts. So Jim called, and Eddie is going to push, and that's going to get it. That's going to get everybody out of there. I thought that Jim had the ace-king.
Nice move. That's about the only way you really win with ace-king.
So, I mean, so you haven't really figured out an hourly, because the way that I do my records, and it's easy because Excel, you just highlight columns, and it gives you like an auto sum.
Mm-hmm.
I put hours, and I put amount won or lost, and amount lost is a negative. So you
I
can
do have an hourly, just not specifically for the 5-5 game.
Oh, okay. Because
yes.
you were saying the 5-10 game at Hawaiian Gardens. That's a 5-10 game with a 500 max buy-in.
Yes, and the Commerce is a 5-10 game with a 400 max buy-in.
Right, so it obviously it's going to affect your hourly because
That's
I
what
would
I'm saying.
assume that you probably can get a lot deeper in those games than in
Make a
this
lot
game.
more, yes.
But you might combine it.
I have it all combined now, but what I was saying is I can separate it out. I just never have on my spreadsheet. I could easily do that. So I couldn't tell you actually what I make just in this game, but I will do that for you, Bart.
Okay. Good to know. Check here. Look at this. Jack on the turn. Both players have the same hand now.
Be like Shaq and major in general studies.
$20 bet here by Eddie.
General studies.
And Yun calls.
AKA
And the river here is a king.
Yeah.
AKA underwater basket.
And I love this bet here. I was going to say Eddie checks, and now Yun is going to bet. This is a mandatory bet here with ace-jack. Because if the guy has a jack, your ace plays. He's not going to check a king or a 5 to you, probably, right? This is a great bet here by Yun, and Eddie just folds. I mean, he bet the turn, and Yun called, and then Yun bet the river. You wonder, maybe he thinks Yun had like a spade draw with kings. Like with a king, like something like king, queen of spades, or ace, king of spades. Something like that. But what I'm saying is, like, I put a positive number two columns, hours that I add up, and then I keep my negatives and my positives in the same column because you can just easily
Excel does that.
add them.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I have totals for every month. I have a chart. I have it all.
Yeah.
I'm anal retentive in that way. I just like to see it, actually.
Well, you definitely have to, if you're going to be doing this for your primary source of income, you definitely have to keep records.
Right.
No doubt about that. Three-way action here. Looks like Julie raised it to 20. Oh, wow. She's hit the ace. Ace, queen, queen, and Jim is in there again with an up and down card. And everybody checks. Julie didn't bet, and Jim didn't bet either. The turn's a jack.
I would like to see a deuce on the turn.
And now Julie's going to bet. And I got to tell you, if Jim raises here, it's almost can easily get Julie away from the hand. And he is going to raise. Unless he's just making a move, there isn't a whole lot that ace-king can beat here. Well, he bets 40. Well, Julie's going to call anyway. She's got a straight draw to the 10 here. She could also catch an ace to win. Here we go to the river. The river's an 8. It's a third spade. It's about a $160 pot, and Jim is definitely going to value bet here. He's going to bet half the pot. He bets 80, and she just folds it. And again, I bring up the fact that if Jim had bet that flop, I think Julie might have called him the whole way down. But by checking the flop and raising the turn, Julie now thinks, oh, well,
Probably has
he must have a
queen.
queen. Really the exact opposite when you're trying to make a kind of a deception play. And who is he really trying to trap anyways? I mean, it's Julie. Is she a loose, aggressive player? I mean, you might slow play to try to get somebody to bet into you like a corporation mic, right?
Right.
Let's take a look at the first chip count of the night here. $4,700 on the table. Matt's got $850. He's in the lead. Let's take a look at the differences.
Impressive.
And Matt's up quick $400 there with that 9-10 suited hand. Julie down a quick $500.
Oh, okay.
Six-way action here, limped around. Or five-way, 10-9-10 here with a couple of clubs, and it looks like we got 9-8 of hearts over in seat one. He doesn't even bet from late position there, Nicole, with 8-9.
Now the queen comes out, and he won't bet again.
Yep. Checked around once again, very passive play. And the river here is a deuce. And now Jim is just going to take a shot at it here with ace
With
high.
his deuce.
And Eddie's just going to fold. Wow. Boy, is that passive play.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in tournaments much.
Yeah, Eddie kind of, I don't know if he was thinking that he was value betting or he was going to get somebody off of a weak 9, but he bet and he got the best hand out.
I've seen him here twice this week.
Yeah.
So he's playing these.
Strato. His wife's a good player, too. I don't know if you play with her.
Button moves over to C3. They were talking earlier on the table, for everybody out there, Dr. Beebe is going to be on ESPN in the World Series in the final table. He was on a featured table in day one.
Really?
Yep. Scotty Wynn, I think.
Was he taken out by Scotty Wynn?
I don't know how he went out, but he definitely got about 8 hours of airtime, he said.
Wow.
He just gets this
That's where he is.
gets this respect that people think he's tighter than he is. People lay down for him all the time.
Straddled pot here. And Jim is going to raise it up here with 4-3 of clubs.
They weren't expecting that.
Makes it 50 to go.
He's not a total rock.
Small and big blind have really nothing.
I mean, Yun has a hand that you might call if you're really deep and you're in position with it. I can't imagine you're going to get involved with that there, and he does not. Jim takes it down there.
Yeah, watch these.
And it looks like now, if you are watching this, you are a subscriber. Thank you very much for being an archive subscriber. Again, you can email us at live@thebike.com. Questions, comments, suggestions. Questions for Nicole. What type of makeup does she wear? What kind of perfume does she put on?
None.
None? You don't wear makeup?
Oh, yeah, makeup, not perfume.
Oh. You just smell like that naturally?
Yeah, yes, I smell like a rose.
Got a raise here by seat number 1. Makes it 20 to go with ace-jack of spades. And he's going to take it down. So, Nicole, why are women so damn weak tight?
I haven't figured out the correct answer for you, Bart. I really haven't.
No.
I don't
Do you
believe.
think that's
I
a
don't
gross
believe,
generalization that I made?
Yeah, because the women that I've seen, I don't believe are weak tight.
Really?
There is a lot. You are right. But I think it's just they're far behind. Men have been playing for how many years? Women have a lot to do to catch up.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of these guys, I mean, a lot of these guys haven't been playing for more than a couple of years. No one's really been playing for more than a couple of years in a no-limit cash game, right? Game really's only been around for a couple of years. Unless you're playing in the back room in Texas with Doyle Brunson or something, you know.
Right.
Or at Lucky Chances in Northern California. Who the hell would ever go up there for
I
anything?
don't know. Maybe it just goes down to biology. You know, men are naturally more aggressive by nature. I'm not sure.
Oh.
I'm glad somebody did, right? Lived around here 5 ways.
Yeah.
Ace 9 Jack here. Rainbow board.
Calls me with 2 black
And Jim is going to bet here with Jack 4 out of the blind.
2 black 5s.
Jennifer's not going to get involved.
1-5.
And Eddie calls with Jack 10 here.
9 and 9.
Well, now he calls with Jack 10. He's got backdoor spades. Remember, he didn't bet with 8-9 before. Turn is king.
That's pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Eddie's still got the best hand here. He's out
Yeah, I've
kicked.
seen a call like that.
Jim checks, and I assume that Eddie is going to take a card here from what we've seen, and he does.
Every year, so.
And the river here is an ace, and now they're going to chop it up. And now Jim bets out again, and Eddie just folds without a second thought.
I understand that trying to bust people on
Very, very passive.
tight. Okay, so now you're talking about weak passive.
Hey, bring it back at me.
Yeah. How about some
How
men?
about this guy?
There's a lot. I mean, I think you just don't realize it because there's so many men on the table. So you see one woman and you think, oh, she's very weak passive. So all women are weak. It's different. There are a lot of men who are very bad too, but there's a lot of men that are very good.
No, the only thing I say is that, and I think you make a point, that there are so few women. I mean, you're talking probably less than 10%, maybe even less than that.
Oh, less, I think, even. When you look around the casinos
Yeah.
sometimes during the day.
He was a young guy.
But, you know, if you don't know the player, you know, it almost goes back to what Caro says when he writes about certain tells, as Julie open raises here to 15 with ace queen. If I sit down at a table with a lady, I'm going to assume that she plays rather weak type until I am corrected by what she does. Obviously, we know. Now, look at this. Dr. BB's got ace jack here. Julie checks with the ace queen. She does not bet. Jim is going to take a shot at him. Nothing. He bets 30. It looks like BB might check raise here with ace jack, and he does. Going to make it 130. Now, I would assume he's not going to check raise Julie. He might just fold, but against Jim there with the button bet, he doesn't give any credit to it. And he makes the check raise. Just in my experience, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, you have a right to your opinion.
You know, it is a stereotype, but again, when you don't have any other information, and it's not illegal to stereotype, and stereotyping helps you out as to how you think this player will play by the way that they look, by the way that they stack their chips. You know, look at Russ Fox. Do you think that guy is going to be like a laggy player? Just by the way that he looks?
I might be the only person in the world that has never played with Russ Fox.
But you know the way he looks, though, right?
No.
Oh, you don't know what he looks like? Well, I think everybody who knows what I'm talking about.
He's a very tight player, though, right?
Absolutely. To the extent. But he's very, like, you know, tight in dress. And
Sometimes I wish I was tighter. I really do sometimes.
Jack 10-4 here with a couple hearts. Turns a king. Well, Jennifer checked. Jack deuce, she checks again. Now the river's a queen. It's a third heart. But she's going to take it down there with the jack. And I have to be honest with you, I love Jennifer, and she's opened her game up a little bit too, but she really played weak tight for a long time. I remember Shirley telling me that she had a couple conversations with her trying to get Jennifer to open up her game, be a little more aggressive.
You know what's good about Jennifer is she's good at her job. She's good at what she does. And it's why she plays this game this way. Is she's, like we said, she's a limit player. And she's good at holding on to her money. As a prop, you have to be very careful with what you're calling your money away with. Every bet means something when you're a prop.
That's going to raise here with pocket tens.
ITMN.
Well, it's funny you say that because Dave and I kind of go with the theory that, I didn't play any different as a prop as I would if I was playing on my own.
See, I kind of disagree. That I think you almost have to.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, Matt raised with tens, Eli called with fours, ace queen 3 on the flop. Matt makes a $25 continuation bet, and that's going to get it done. Eddie's not in the hand. Matt takes it down. I just don't look at. I try to play my same game everywhere I play and at every level that I play, where it's appropriate for that game. So, I can understand what you're saying. Well, if you're propping and you're on a shorter bankroll and you're just playing it really conservatively, I think some people, when they prop, they play to break even and take their hourly. But if you can beat the game, why not just play your regular game and beat the game?
Right. That's interesting.
Jennifer just fold to ace-3 there on the button. They're going to chop this one up.
What was that?
So you have played with Jamie Gold, like, say, in a 200 game, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Many times, actually. Not recently. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the last time was a few months ago. Saw him once at Hawaii. The most recent time I saw him was in Hawaiian Gardens a couple months ago.
Now, do you still play that 510 400 max game at the other casino, or you like the one at
all the time.
Hawaiian Gardens?
I like them both,
Yeah.
actually. I like... Said boo commerce. Of course, the bike is the best. But I do like the action on those games.
You know, I was doing pretty
BB's
okay
going to raise it up here with
game,
10-4 suited.
But I never had more than about 13-5, 14,000.
Matt's not going to get involved with ace-7, but Eli calls with queen-jack out of position.
I actually
King
had
deuce
a couple
9.
of,
Well,
like, pretty
see if
decent
BB can
ones.
follow up with the continuation bet. He does.
Yeah.
And that's probably going to do it. Whoa, is Eli going to peel here for a gut shot? He does. Well, maybe he thinks that BB will give him a card here on the turn. Turns a 4, and now BB has the best hand. Check, check. And is Eli going to bluff at it here at the end?
I would if I were him.
The river pairs the king. And he is going to bet. And I assume BB's out of there, and he is. And Eli makes a little bluff at it.
What happened at the end?
You know, it's funny, sometimes you don't call really tight players with speculative pre-flop hands, but if you know that they're not necessarily super aggressive, you might think they're going to outplay them. And maybe that's what Eli was thinking there with Dr. BB.
2.5 times with pocket kings.
Yellow chips are $5 chips, purples are 25s,
You've got
blues
to
are
call
1s.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And, you know, also I was bleeding chips on things like that.
5-5 no limit, 300 max. Excuse me, 300 min, 500 max.
That's right.
Where I had top pair.
Very non-action-y game.
So I had to
So
keep
far,
playing
yep, this one's going to get chopped up.
I knew he was
So
gonna-
which game do you prefer? Do you prefer the 5-5 here, or do you prefer those other games because they're more action?
Okay, safe fold. Yeah, no, yeah.
I really like the 5-10 games with the max fire.
Stuff like that.
Because
And then at the end,
you can really actually play the style which is tight aggressive, not weak aggressive.
Well, you got to play like a short stack style at first,
Yes,
right?
you play very tight aggressive because you're going to get paid off when you do get that good hand. You wait till you double up and then you can really play. I like it. I mean, here you can play tight all day and make a couple $100. There you can play tight all day and make a couple thousand on a good day.
yeah, I mean, it
Raised
was-
here by Michael with ace-10 offsuit.
But you do
he's
risk
gonna
a
take
lot
it.
less in this game, which is nice about this. You can still make 500 a day in this game while only risking 500. Whereas a lot of times in other places you got to put in 1, 2, 3 buy-ins
Yeah.
before you're making money, so it gets a little stressful.
When he opens the pot, you know, raising and kind of
Button moves over here to seat 6.
small blind on the first one. I had like pocket fives. And he raised and I re-raised. And I ended up all in on a flop with him.
Pocket jacks here for Eli. One off the cutoff. Julie's got pocket
I re-raised and he
5s.
called my re-raise.
And Jennifer's going to open raise here. She's got ace-queen offsuit. Well, here is another case that I always think is different in this game than in the deeper stack games. It seems like everybody always re-raises with jacks, queens, kings, or aces in this game. Jennifer is just out of there. Eli raises it with jacks. Whereas in the bigger game, you can sometimes call to play it a little bit deceptively. Like if you had aces in the blind, you might just call to play it as a check raise. Jacks, you might not want to build a big pot up if you're a deep stack. You might just want to call and almost hit a set or see if no overcards come.
Right.
But in this game, it's very, very rare that I ever see anybody smooth call with kings, aces, queens. And they almost overplay jacks.
Oh, all the time.
You know?
Jennifer and I were actually just talking about that today. The bad thing about this game, the 3 to 5 game, is those big pairs. At least in limit with a big pair, you usually make some money. In this game, is you win a small pot or you lose a big one. That's it. In this 3 to 5 game specifically,
Yeah.
because people play them that way. You're always re-raising with a big pair. If someone calls you and snaps you, you're usually all in anyways. And
Right, because you're short stacked,
Right.
really. Yeah.
Picture it here. It's a 10 flat calling my re-raise.
Well, then again, though, I mean, if you re-raise with aces to 120, or like you'd said you would raise to 200 today with queens,
250.
and somebody called you
With nines.
when they only had 400 left with nines, I mean,
Right.
you're making money off of that, even though you lost the hand.
Yeah. Someday I'm making money. Today I did not.
Well, look at this. 10-10 deuce here, limped around. Julie's got trip 10. She's on the button. And she checks. It's a rainbow board. And look at this. BB's got a full house. And can BB stack her? How about a raise here by BB? Because now Jim is going to bet out with a deuce. Although the funny thing is, yeah, BB's just going to call, and Julie might raise here. And now BB might be able to come over the top. That's a great card for BB. And Julie just calls.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Here we go to the river, and the river's a 6. I assume Jim's going to shut down now. Oh, man, and if BB just throws a little $40 bet out and Julie calls, BB could have won so much on this hand. He is going to bet 65, a little under the size of the pot. And is Julie just going to call? Wow. Very, very, very conservative play here. And 3's full are going to take it down. I mean, I got to tell you, the way that I would play that, you might disagree with me, is that if I was Dr. Beebe, I would overbet that turn and make it look like I was trying to steal and hope that someone was sandbagging a 10.
Yeah.
And then you make a big bet as opposed to just, because by him just calling the 20, he could only bet 75 on the river. If that guy bets and you make it 100, she's going to call, and now you can push her all in the river. She's going to feel obliged to call. Mm-hmm. Or if he checks, now you can, on the turn, you can bet, say, 75 over the size of the pot. She calls. Now the pot is 200. She's got 200 left. You can bet 200 in the river. Now she's getting 2-1, and she won't lay the king 10 down. I mean, that really is the essence of making the most money with your big hands and no limit hold'em. And it's amazing how many people don't really get it. You know what I mean? Queen 7-8 here with a couple hearts.
Same guy comes in range. Folds to him, he comes in range. And says, you know what?
Jim is going to bet $10 here. You know, I love Dr. Beebe. He's a really nice guy, but I almost think that, well, I know that he loses a lot of value by trying to trap too much with his big hands. And I think his feeling is that he plays it and has such a tight image that if he ever puts money into the pot, everyone's going to get scared. So he has to play it like that. But
especially not on this table. No one even notice.
But he's also got to realize that when you make a hand like bottom's full, with 2 10s out there, and there's 6 people
still
in the hand.
Still a scary hand.
Well, there's really a good chance someone's going to have a 10, and they're not going to lay it down. So.
Well, not only that, but the river can kill you, and I've seen it happen many, many times.
$30 raise here by Jim with Queen Deuce offsuit.
Well, here's what happens. So here's where it gets really weird. So I put the small blind.
Oh, boy.
Jack 8-5 here, Rainbow. And Jennifer's got pocket 9s. Let's see how she's going to play. It goes check, check. Turns a king. And now if Jennifer checks again, you wonder if Jim's going to bet. And there it is. He uses the king as the scare card. Now is Jennifer even going to get involved? I'm going to tell you, with 9s, I probably bet out on that flop. Especially against Jim.
And here's the funniest part about the whole thing. The small blind has ace-10 offsuit. He read it perfect.
Let's see what Jennifer's going to do.
So he didn't read the first guy for queens. But he knew that the first guy was probably raising the steal. He knew that I
don't know if she's even going to get involved here.
2 overs, I doubt she's going to call.
And she gets it. She folds. So I was going to hop on this. The station on 2+2 said, quote unquote, I wish I was tighter, from Nicole. And he said, surprise Bart didn't jump all over that. Figure his head had to be in the gutter as well. Yeah, I was thinking I was going to ask her, are you talking about poker? But I left it alone. But now I'm going to say
it. Okay, good choice, good choice.
Thanks, Ronnie. Ooh, did I spill water on you? Sorry.
Ronnie says, I'm a lady, treat me like one. Thank you, Ronnie.
Well, Jennifer's got ace-king suited here on the button, and she is going to raise.
She's gotten quite a few hands tonight.
She makes it 40. Now, Young's got pocket 7s here. He's out of position, and he's against a player that might not necessarily pay her off if he hits a set. She has an overpair. Now, in this case, out of position against a player like Jennifer, I might just not get involved.
Right. He's thinking probably about re-raising, however.
You think so? With 7s?
What a huge pot. Well, I don't know. I wasn't there. So.
Maybe he doesn't know it's his turn.
Well, everybody else is folded to him. I think he's just really thinking this one through. Yeah, he's just not going to get involved against Jennifer.
I didn't want to be sitting there at 3 o'clock.
And she takes it down.
She's weirded out by that long pause.
Do something with it for die trap.
Button moves over here to see number 1. Nicole Pepe in here in the booth from Minnesota, right?
That's right.
Look at this. We got an email here from Russell Fox. He says, if you think I'm tight, I played against a guy in Vegas who must have played 2 hands in the 4 hours I was at his table. 1, 2 blinds, unlimited buy-in, no limit hold'em game. He still got action.
Yeah.
There you go. I'm just saying that, if you don't have any information about someone, you can sometimes look at them and make a generalization as to what they look like, how they look like they're going to play.
Right.
I remember reading a chapter about Mike Harrow, like if someone, keeps a meticulously neat stack, they're more of a tight player.
Really?
Something like that.
Everybody keeps... I don't see very many
I'm a slob, I admit.
dirty stacks around.
I'm all over the place with my chips. Checked around the flop, turns an ace, and now the river is a jack. And who's got the best hand here? It looks like Eli with queen 5. And I think he's going to be content to check this one down. Queen is good. Queen is going to take this one down. You would think that I can handle my chips a little bit better since I've been playing so long, but I really can't. The other thing I always fall into, and I actually had it happen to me yesterday, is if I pick up a streak of a couple of pretty big pots, say I sit down in a half an hour, I'm up $1,700, and I pick up another hand, I'm a lot better than I used to be, but I still have a tendency to shake when I have a big hand, and I'm really trying to combat that. And I don't know how you improve on it, but I think it's just with play.
Mind over matter.
Yeah. Do you ever have that happen to you?
Shaking, no.
No?
But I feel it internally. Yeah, the heart racing and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. You really have to literally say to yourself, "Okay, relax."
Right. Eli's got pocket queens here on the button. He's going to raise. Makes it 25 to go.
I think it's... Is that it?
Yep, 25. Dr. BB and Jim both have the same hand, ace-6 offsuit. And the interesting thing about BB, though, is that even though he kind of plays a real conservative post-flop, we've already said, he's not necessarily all that tight pre-flop. You can see him in there with weak aces. No, he's not the type of guy that's going to commit a lot of money with just an ace. But, ace-6 offsuit from up front, kind of tough to play.
I got that one time, and one guy treated me like a god for the rest
Now, how about this?
started getting it.
In your limit and your no-limit game, because I've had this discussion with Jennifer. In a full-ring game, ace-rag suited in the first, say, 3 positions, and I'm talking about ace-9 and below. Is it just a fold for you?
No limit or limit?
No limit.
In no limit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fold for me.
But in limit, it's not?
If it's suited, no.
Really?
No. Yes.
Interesting.
Because you will get paid off on a flush in limit, no matter what. People always will.
Yeah, but what about the fact that you might have a higher flush in no limit and win a ton of money against a lower flush?
I find that people know what you're going after in no limit. When you're just check calling or however even if you're trying to play a KG, they know what you have, and you make much less money, I think, on those flush draws. I mean, I will play them, but not usually up front.
45.
Eddie's going to bet 25 here. Got checked around the flop. He's got king-queen. It's over to Yun with king-7. I got to tell you, if Eddie puts money in the pot here, I think ace-rag here is almost a fold. I'm surprised Eddie even bet the turn here from what we've seen. But again, you wonder if these players are paying attention. Yun's thinking about it here. And he is going to call. He makes the check call here. I got to tell you, if a blank comes here, I'm betting king-queen for value here on the river. From what I saw here. Well, the river is a jack. Well, now he makes a straight, so obviously he's going to bet here at
Pretty
the
easy
end.
for him to bet that.
Yeah. But if it was a deuce there, I bet king-queen there.
I have a feeling he would have checked.
I do too.
Yeah.
That was pointing out, though.
We get cocktails over here?
He's going to bet 50 here with the straight. Yun only has a bluff catcher. There's absolutely nothing he can beat, with the exception of king 6, king 5, king 4, king 3, and king deuce. And actually, no, he would chop with those hands. There's nothing he can beat except for pure bluff, because the ace, jack, 10, 9 would play with the kickers. Kings with an ace, jack, 10 would play. And Eddie takes it down. So when you're playing, when you move up, Ed Miller, Small Stakes Hold'em, talks about when you're playing in a loose, say, low limit Hold'em game, say 10-20 or below, or 8-16 or below. Wow, well, look at this. We got pocket aces here for Eli and pocket queens for Jim.
Oh boy.
And we got an open raise here by seat number 8 with pocket 6s. Eli's going to re-raise. And unless Jim's donking it up, I would really not play this hand hard to Eli's re-raise. Now, we did see Eli re-raise with jacks before, but that's pretty much all you can beat here with queens. And let's get a shot at Eli. What does he look like in terms of a player that you might generalize? I mean, does he look like a crazy maniac type?
Well, I know him, so I know he's not. He's
right,
pretty tight.
but
yeah.
I'm just, saying, like, in general, he looks like he's pretty tight player. Yeah, probably like an IT guy, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And Jim is just going to call.
Smart move if you're going to play at all.
Oh, now the issue, though, is if it's a ragged board, does Jim lay... Do you lead out and just fold to a raise here? That's the issue. How is he going to play it? Well, there's the ace. And Eli's got top set.
Well, that saves Jim.
Funny thing, I'm not a huge proponent of playing it cagey, but if Eli checked one time, you wonder if Jim would think that Eli had kings and might try to take it away from him on the turn. But Eli's going to bet here. And it really isn't a bad bet because you hope the guy's in there with ace-king or ace-queen, I think. Although, play devil's advocate with myself, Jim is really the only one that you might actually check to induce a bluff. It's an $80 bet, so he's bet real small. He's bet about a half pot size bet here. And I think what's going through Jim's mind is, does this guy have pocket kings? Can I get him off of it? And if he tries to make this move, he's in big trouble.
Yeah.
Stroking the monkey enough for you? Or, wait, greasing the monkey. No, it was greasing. Wait, it was feeding the monkey. Greasing the
All right, what were you asking about the low limit?
Oh, what I was asking was, Ed Miller sometimes says in his small stakes book that if it's a really loose game that you can limp in with suited aces from up front. Now, what if you play 20-40? Does it change?
In limit?
Yeah, in
no,
limit.
I still do the same. Well,
you'll
the
limp in
20-40
with-
here is very aggressive game, though. So
You'll limp in with the ace-deuce
Suited.
from
Yes.
up front in a limit game.
yes,
But in lower
not
limit
in,
games.
not in yes. And all limit of up to 20-40 is really all I've really played.
Right.
I will. In no limit, I will not. Depending on the table. If it's a passive table and I know no one's going to raise, sure.
Right. If it's just a bunch of calling, it's just
Yeah.
limp. Well, I think that's when that hand becomes playable and it can be profitable. Although the 20 here, it's not usually like that all that much unless it's
See, I've only played the 20 maybe 4 or 5 times, and it's always been a very aggressive table.
Yeah.
And I like it that way. I like limit that way. Probably because I'm an no-limit player.
Well, Matt is just going to limp in here with 9s, one off the cutoff. A little bit surprising in that spot. Ace, 6, 7 here, all spades. And we had ace-queen here for Dr. BB. He did not raise it out of the blind, and Eddie's flopped the flush. BB bets 30. He does not have a spade, and Eddie has flopped the flush, and he is just going to call. He is just going to call here. Everybody else is out. He's going to slow play it a bit. Here we go to the turn. Turn is a 7. BB is going to throw a $30 bet out here again.
Feeler.
And Eddie is just going to call again.
Ace on the river.
Well, you wonder if it's a blank on the river, is BB going to check? Oh, wow, the river's a 6.
That doesn't happen.
And that's probably, I don't know. And look at this, Eddie just checks it down there at the end.
Wow.
He just checks it down there at the end. Again, you always say, well, if you bet there, would you get called? But really, do you think BB has a 7 or a 6 in his hand there? If you really look back at that hand, would you bet Jack 10 there to try to get a call from an ace? You're not that deep. The pot was about $150. Eddie only had about, say, 100 left. Do you think BB's leading out with a 7 or a 6 there? And then he checks it on the river? You think he's going to check a 7 there on the river?
What's wrong with it?
It's
No,
just
I
those
do
little
not.
things that, you lose a little bit of value by not betting the river. Now, I don't think he would have called the river, but, again, people get themselves into bad habits. And Eli's going to raise. He's got pocket jacks. And we got a call here by Jim with a ace rag.
Oh, he knows it.
Eli's going to bet. He bets 30. And Jim is just out of there.
He did admit that Patty was hotter.
Well, Jim's definitely been playing the loosest at this table. So again, we were talking about we're going to try to follow the World Series going on, and we're about an hour into the show here. We last checked, there were 6 players left. And when I'm checking now, there are still 6 players left, but it looks like some chip motion has gone on. Jamie Gold's still way out in front. Now he's got more than double second place. He's got almost 39 million. Richard Lee, second spot with 17.4. And Rhett Butlers and Mike Binger pulling up the rear there. Pocket kings here for Eddie. He's going to raise it up.
Players, wow. There's a lot of big pairs lately in our game.
I got to tell you, I mean, at this point now, you definitely, I would probably lay, and anybody out there can agree or disagree with me, you would think that Jamie Gold has to be a 1-to-1, if not more, to win this thing. In the field, I mean, Jamie Gold might be like 1 to 1.5, and the field might be 1.5 to 1 now. I mean, with that chip stack and the amount of chips that are on the table, and the way that he's playing it, he's got to be a favorite, I mean, to win over the field. Obviously, he's a favorite individually over everybody else, but I'm saying, if you wanted to take a bet with me and you said, I'll take the rest of the field, or I'll take Jamie Gold. Although, I got to tell you, well,
Alan Cunningham, though, is pretty good, even though he's dropped to 4th.
There still is, I mean, he's got 38 million, and there's another 31, 43, 51 million. There's about, what was it, 88 million, and he's got 38 million. So he doesn't have quite half of the chips on the table, but it would be kind of a shocker if he were to lose, I would think. Now, I don't exactly know what the situation was last year with Andy Black. How much of a dominant chip. And he ended up in 5th place, if you remember that kind of meltdown. Ronnie's telling me he was up to 20 million. Obviously, there were a lot less chip. Well, there were only, 66 million in play, right? 6,600 players. So.
That's why, I mean, I still like Alan Cunningham for his play. You know, you've got all the
he's
cards,
definitely the most
obviously,
experienced.
but I think, yeah.
Absolutely. Julie's just going to make a little $15 raise. BB calls, and Jennifer's got pocket aces, and she re-raises. She makes it 45 here. Well, Julie's going to call. And she's trying to get some action here, obviously, with her aces. Pot's over $100. King 6-3. Julie, it's an easy lay down here for Julie, I would assume. Now, if that flop came Queen 6-3, do you think Julie would get involved?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Do you think she would make the check call with Queen 10?
Yeah.
What side did you
Well, that definitely can get you in trouble.
Yes, you definitely can.
Now, did you spend any time in Vegas for the World Series?
I didn't. Actually, I didn't go at all. I just decided that if I play any tournaments, it's going to be here this month or
what are you planning on playing?
Nothing right now, but maybe next week, one of the 500s.
No limit?
Yeah.
I probably invested $1,000 in.
Yes, I am playing Saturday.
We get that big free roll tournament coming up.
Yep, I'm excited for that.
Anybody who's had 50 hours of no limit play, actually the last night was tonight, qualify. The Bicycle Casino is giving away 10 $10,000 Legends and Poker seats, 10 $1,500 seats to the Mariani Charity Tournament, and then another 10 $300 no limit seats.
So great. Plus, I mean, it is a free roll, but it does cost 100 plus 25. But that 100 is also
goes
cash.
Back into it. Goes
just
back
like a
into
normal
the pool.
tournament.
Right.
Yeah. So you not only, I mean, you get cash as well. It's amazing. It's a very nice tournament.
Julie's going to raise it up here with pocket jacks.
So we've had pocket pair jacks are bigger in the last 5 hands, probably.
Yeah.
I think I got like an $18
It doesn't look like anyone's going to give her any action here. 30 total. Matt's got 9 deuce.
But I will only need that glass of wine.
Oops.
She is not going to call. So I was saying you're from Minnesota originally, right?
Yes.
We got into some good curling discussion.
Yeah,
over the
curling's
winter.
not from Minnesota. I don't know.
It's not?
No.
I thought the biggest curling club came out of Minnesota. Those guys, the bronze medal team for the U.S.
They came from Minnesota?
Yeah.
Really? This is not to my knowledge.
Really?
No.
Well, you were more of a city girl, right?
Yeah, I'm from Minneapolis.
Yeah.
It's not really a small town.
It's a real city.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not up in Fargo land,
No.
right? Yeah.
Really strange that somebody automatically thinks that that's not true.
Button moves over here to seat 2.
Have been adopted.
There's a dealer here that every time I sit down, you know I worked here, obviously. Every time he comes to my table, he said, from Minnesota, right? It's like, wow, after a year, you think you might remember.
I don't know if there's anybody else in the card room from Minnesota here.
Probably not.
Yeah. Raise here, Queen Jack suited. Matt's going to call with Jack 3 of diamonds. And we're going to see four-way action here. It's an $80 pot to the flop. Eddie, the pre-flop raiser, he's hit the jack. And so is Matt. So is Matt going to get involved here?
I think Matt was looking more for a flush with that hand or two pair.
Eddie bets 25. Yeah, Matt's just not even going to get involved. Kind of a small bet. He unfolds. And Jim here's got ace-4. He's going to check raise, it looks like. He's just making a pure bluff.
That Eddie is played quite passively.
And Eddie's in there. Well, the problem is that he check raises and Eddie doesn't have that much left. And Eddie makes the call. It's over $100, $200 pot now. The turn's a 9. And Jim is drawing to an ace, and now he checks. And Eddie checks right behind him.
Bet.
And the river is a 10. Well, I think Jim probably should have given up. I mean, what do you think Eddie called with? And now he's going to bet 125, although Eddie has laid down some hands here.
Yep.
Can Jim possibly, use a 9 as the scare card? And then he picked up trip 9s. He checked trip 9s, and now he's betting the river. He's bet 125 into a $200 pot. The pot is 325, 125 for Eddie to call. Now, Eddie can't really beat a real jack. He also can't beat Jack 10 here.
He's going to throw it away, I think.
Well, if you really look at the hand, unless Jim is totally bluffing with him, it's not that necessarily that bad of a laydown. He can't beat ace jack. He can't beat king jack. He can't beat jack 10. He can't beat a 9. Right? I mean, we're reading the board here. Queen jack on that board after a guy check raises you on the flop and then checks the turn. There isn't a whole lot you can beat. Obviously, you can beat Jim. But live straddle here by Jim, C6.
Nice up. It looks like a nice up.
Who's saying that? Johnny just said that Johnny Chan is mentoring Jamie Gold. What is Johnny Chan going to get a piece of him or something at the end? Oh, wow.
He's got a name already. Well, of course, everyone wants to be involved with the winner, right?
Right. Well, why not? 12 million and then probably another 20 million endorsements. Got a raise here to 35. Wow, by Eddie. With 6-3 suited. And Jennifer's in there with Jack 9 and Jim's in there with King Jack. $90 pot. Eddie the pre-flop raiser. Well, Jim's got overs and a club draw. Jennifer has top pair. How is she going to play it? She's going to come out and bet. She bets 50. Eddie has totally really missed this flop here. I mean, he's got middle pair, but with Jennifer coming out and betting at you, you have to know that's not good. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, bottom pair.
I assume he's getting frustrated, which is why he raised with his hand. So now he's going to go all
Wow, now he's going to push it. And the thing here, though, is when Eddie pushes, if Jim calls, I think Jennifer's probably going to get out.
Yep.
That's probably what's going to happen here. Jennifer's probably going to muck if Jim calls. If Jim mucks, you wonder if Jennifer's thinking that Eddie has an overpair. Jennifer bet 50, $140 pot. Eddie has now moved all in. And it's 170 more or 170 total? 75 total. So the pot right now, and Jim is going to call. Wow, Jim is going to call. And like I said, I think that's going to get Jennifer out of the hand. The pot right now, $50 bet, an all-in move plus 175. Jim has called 225 cold here on the flop. And we're talking about a pot right now of over $500. And it's going to be 175 for Jennifer to call. But the way that Jim's been playing, do you give him credit for anything? Also, the question is, do the players notice that Jim has been playing kind of wild?
I think Jennifer knows. I think her problem is, does she really want to risk her chips to find out? She's really 50-50 at this point.
And she will be mucking the best hand right now. As you can see, though, Jim is a favorite. He's got one overcard and 2 clubs. He's a favorite over the field. If it went heads up against Jennifer, she would be a favorite because of the jack. The jack is not good. But she's going to get rid of it. And I don't think it's a bad laydown at all.
No, not at all.
You got to think that Eddie's got something. I mean, this is the first time. And you can see that Jim is a favorite over Eddie's hand, though. $500 pot. The turn is a queen. Jim could pick up a 10 now for a straight. King, Jack, 10, or club, and the river's a king.
Wow.
And he makes it, and King, Jack, or club is going to take down over a $500 pot.
That's what I thought.
He picked up more outs on the turn.
I would have lost anyway.
He had 9 club outs with 1 card to come. He had 2 overs, so that's another 15. Plus 3 more 10s, 18 outs with 1 card to come against 6-3 there. And it looks like Eddie's going in for more money. You know who I haven't seen around in the casino in a while, and we haven't seen on the show, is Hav. What is he up to these days? I know you're friends with him.
Yeah, well, his wife is having their first child, so, and they just...
Oh, really? Just recently?
She's due in November.
Oh.
So he's spending a lot of time with her right now.
His wife over poker?
Oh, can you believe it?
There's no marriage in poker. I mean, isn't it going to get a lot worse, though, when the baby's delivered? Like the first 6 months? He's not going to...
Maybe, but you know, there's just some things that are more important than poker, Bart.
Red Rock gas station out in Vegas. Yeah, I don't play a lot.
I actually saw Dr. Allen, if anyone's familiar, for the first time in a few months yesterday in the casino. Remember, he played on the show a bunch of times, and then him and his wife adopted a baby about 3 months ago, and he's been spending a lot of time. Now, it looks like Julie's flopped the ass end of the straight, and Jim is bet with Queen 6 here. Julie checked it from up front, and she's playing 300 behind, so I guess that money's going to play. And let's see what she's going to do. She is going to check raise. 30 more. I think this is a pretty easy lay down here for Jim with Queen 6. I mean, there's no way he can be ahead right now. Yeah, he's going to fold it. Playing a little wild tonight, but not crazy. She takes it down. There it is. Have you played with Julie before?
No, actually, I don't think I've ever even seen her.
Oh,
You see new women in here every once in a while, and sometimes they come in for a few weeks at a time, and then you lose them. They don't last very much, I don't think.
Really? Remember when we had, I remember last year we had a girl named Cammie that came on the show a lot. Cammie.
Yep,
And
I remember
she's
her.
pregnant too, and she must have...
Is she really?
Oh, she's been pregnant for like 10 months.
Well, then she probably had her baby.
I checked it a few weeks.
She looked like she was about to explode the last time I saw her, about 4 weeks ago here, so I would assume that
Yeah.
she has had...
Yeah, I
Baby.
mean, you see every once in a while a woman who, at the 5-10 or 5-5 game, who was here for a couple months, and then you just, I don't know what happens.
Do you think it's the environment, or do you think they're losing?
I think they win at first, and then once you hit that first losing streak, I mean, same with guys too. They're just done. They said, oh, you know, it's fun while you win, but
You
it's,
constantly see people recycling through here,
Mm-hmm.
meaning like you'll see them for a lot, and then you won't see them for 6 months.
Right.
And then all of a sudden they're back.
they're back. Yeah.
I mean,
Now sometimes they go to other casinos.
That's true.
But sometimes they do take a break.
Yeah. Take a break and earn a little bit more money from
Right,
their
so
real
they can
job.
bring it-
so they
bring
can
it back in, yeah.
Yeah. Button moves over here to seat 6.
I went to Green Valley Ranch too. That's a great place. And that's closer. Yeah. But I like Green Valley Ranch one.
Julie's going to fold.
I'd probably stay there next.
Limp here on the button. 3-way action. Whole bunch of garbage out there. Ace, deuce, 3 on the flop. Jim's got the best hand here with a pair of deuces.
10.
And he's going to bet 10. And that looks like it's enough to take it down. So you didn't buy the main event, did you? Pay-per-view?
Me?
Yeah.
No. No, I don't care to watch poker, especially if you can't see the hole cards. Like, what am I going to do with that?
I assume it's going to be pretty boring, but like I said, I just got to see what the competition is out there. Especially when people do live poker, I'd like to see
Yeah.
how they go about it.
So you're going to commentate the World Series someday, Bart?
Hey, my door's always open. I'm a little upset that no one even gave us the opportunity to.
Good for you.
I've been staying at the Hard Rock. I stay at the Hard Rock more.
Ace Jack here for Eddie.
I've been going there
Matt limps in with King 9 of Hearts.
10 years ago. I've been a regular customer. I've been there at least a couple.
And we get a raise here by Jim.
15 more.
He's continuing to drive the action. He's made it 15 more with Queen 5.
How come it's all Asian women on here?
We can hear that.
I was asking Bart why it was all Asian women on his MySpace site.
Yeah, I love this friend.
King 9-3, and Matt's flop top 2 pair. Now it's 3 diamonds. And he checked it. He checked it over to Jim. Jim's got the Queen of Diamonds in his hand. And Jim is going to bet, and you wonder if Matt is going to play this for a check raise. Now, a lot of times you might check call here and wait for a non-diamond turn, check call and bet the turn. Eddie's got the Jack of Diamonds in his hand. He doesn't look like he's going to get involved. And that is what Matt's going to do. He's going to check call. Let's see if Matt's going to bet here on a non-diamond turn. It's an ace. And now he's going to bet. How did I know that? Bet 75. And that's a 60. That's actually a great card for Matt to bet on, especially if the guy's on a nut diamond draw. Jim is drawing to the second nut flush draw right now with the Queen of Diamonds.
Which is not something they usually like to be doing.
It's a $60 bet here by Matt, and that is going to get it done. And that's sometimes the best way to play a hand like that on a 3 flush board. You don't want to commit that much money until you see a safe turn card. River was an 8.
Not a flush.
Spade.
Oh, Kenny.
Matt took it down.
That was what I was going to guess.
It's not all Asian women on my MySpace page.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, 'cause that's why you picked-
Oh, there's one blonde girl.
Well, that's Shirley. And Genocide. And Jean Gluck. Jean Gluck's half Asian. Button moves over here to seat 8.
That's supposed to mean. Well, I was planning on seeing him before.
We're doing a couple of promotions, and I'll get to it at the end of this hand. Limped around here.
She already told me that.
Here we go to the flop. 9-7-4 here. Well, Matt's open-ended. He's got backdoor clubs. Eli has a pair of 7s. It's the best hand. It looks like Eli came out and bet. Matt called. Dr. Beebe called. Dr. Beebe's got Queen 9. Actually, he's got top pair. He has the best of it. Three-way action here to the turn. $70. Turn is an ace.
Ooh,
Matt
Dr.
and Beebe.
Beebe's hand looks good. Huh?
Yeah, Matt and Beebe both pick up club draws. And now Matt is going to bet 40 here. He's got an open-ended straight draw with a flush draw. He bets 40. And Beebe calls once again. And now if you're Matt, what do you think Beebe is calling with now that the ace has appeared? Is he on some sort of draw as well? $140 to the river. If it's a club, we're going to see some action. Well, the river's a 9, and Beebe's got trip 9, so now you know he's not going anywhere.
Nope.
But Matt has absolutely nothing here. So is he going to try to bluff at it?
I don't think so.
I gotta tell you, if I was Matt, I think I'd throw some money out here.
He
But
knows
he's gonna
Dr.
check.
Beebe, I think, and he's...
And Beebe's going to bet now.
45.
Bets
He built a pot up
45.
because he had a lot of outs, and then he just... With Dr. Beebe calling, you got to figure 6 highs, no good.
I got nothing, but I can't push on any.
Yeah, and Matt is, he's really, he's perplexed right now. He said, I can't call you, I don't have anything, but I can't put you on any hand. And that's because Beebe called the turn when the ace came in. And I would be in the same boat with Matt. That's why if I was Matt, I'd probably try to bluff the river because I would think that Beebe was on some sort of straight draw that he missed. My hand can win with 5-6. But the reason why Beebe's still in there with the 9 is because he also had clubs. So let's take a look at this
I had 6 high, but I
motion that we're doing here. We're going to be giving away bobbleheads. One a day, all in next week. Is that right?
This is Doyle Brunson.
And this is a
May
Phil
not look
Herman
like him.
bobblehead. For all subscribers, we're going to be randomly drawing, and we're going to ship in you these babies if you are a winner of the random drawing, this bobblehead. And next week, we're also going to be doing another round of Pick the Winner, where the person that picks the biggest winner of the night and is closest to how much they win wins cash. For all you archive subscribers.
How much?
An undetermined amount.
Oh, okay.
Myself on my bucket for it. I played it 100 times.
It's in the thousands, I heard.
Jim is going to raise it up here to 25. And Eddie has called here with King Queen. And Eddie's hit the king. Let's see how he's going to play it. And he checks, and Jim bets with a 6. And Eddie calls. Just a check call with the king queen. Turns a deuce. It's a third spade.
I have a feeling Eddie's going to fold.
Really?
Yeah.
Eddie checks again. And Jim takes a card. And here we go to the river. And the river is a 9. And is Eddie just going to check again?
Yeah.
Or is he going to throw a little bit value bet up here with king queen? Well, he checks again, and I think Jim thinks he needs to bet here to win. He's going to bet 50. But I don't know if Eddie's going to go anywhere in this one.
Please call.
And he does call.
Thank God.
He does call.
I got Boston cream pie and an English muffin.
And Eddie's going to take it down there with the king queen. You know, it's funny, if you're in Jim's spot there and a 4th spade comes out, it's an easy bet on the river if Eddie checks to you. And take it down as a bluff. Because remember, Eddie's played it so conservatively all night long. Button moves over here to seat 1. And how are the games here in the 3 to 5 game? Are they tight like this, or you just have to get into the right game?
A lot of them are, but I mean, the one that I just was in was not. I mean, half the field was crazy action. So it's a matter of luck, really, is being able to be here at the right time to get that right game.
What did I say?
Right people. Know your table, know your players.
Oh, I was just thinking about that.
Game selection.
That's right.
Very key, right? I'm going to chop this one up here. Tomorrow we're going to be doing 10-20 no limit. $1,000 minimum buy-in. Unrestricted max. Last night we had a doozy of a game. Absolutely crazy. Button moves over here to Eli in seat 2.
For action, no doubt about it.
Don't tell me the win has better action than Bellagio.
Absolutely not. Win is
That's her
dead.
favorite room, and maybe it's her favorite room, but it doesn't have the best action.
Sure doesn't. You know why? You know who told me?
Caesars.
Caesars was alright.
Dry.
Venetian was kind of okay, but not really.
The driest room.
Well,
It was when it opened. Now they got this huge free roll thing, and it's got more people in it.
Caesars was just uncomfortable. The
But-
walls were too, the ceiling's too low.
Like Bellagio,
Limped around.
feeling like
Caesars, they're talking about Caesars at the table. That's where I had a dealer called me a retard.
50-30 in the first
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
What'd you do?
I got up and left. I called the floor man over, and the floor man, like, laughed at me pretty much. Said, why did I get called over here? So what? He called you a retard. I'm like, kind of,
Yeah,
are you
but the
serious?
win doesn't have
8-4-3 here. Jim's going to bet out here with king 8.
the win is comfortable.
Boy, we haven't seen Michael play a hand in a long time. He calls with 7s.
I know.
And Matt also calls. He's got 6-7. He's got a gut shot to the 5 with backdoor clubs. Turns a 9
he
now.
has a double gutter.
Well, he's actually
Open-ended.
Yeah, he's bottom end of the open-ended straight draw.
she's like
Poor
the
chick.
Jim bets 40 now again. Michael folds. And Matt's trying to take a look at what Jim's stack is over here. 2 hearts now, 1 card to go. He's open-ended. And remember, Jim could be betting with nothing. But Matt is going to call. And it's over a $200 pot. And the river here is a 9. And Matt is just going to give up. Wow, and Jim is going to bet here for value with king 8. And I actually like the bet. I like the bet. You know, Matt's not going to check a 9 to you. The only thing that you're losing to here is ace 8. Matt is out of there. Jim takes it down.
Do you know where he cooked? No, him to the where he cooked. Right to our player. Yeah. He told me.
So what did you start with over in the 20-40 limit game today?
A rack, 500.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Just kind of blew through
Well,
it.
400.
Yeah.
Actually, because I used
That's really
100
not
of it.
that much in that game. It's just...
No.
really
Usually,
one
actually, I
hand.
do really good in that game. I've only
Yeah.
played, like I said, a few times. But in any game I played today, I just wasn't catching anything. It's not my day. Try again tomorrow.
It's Good attitude.
Whereas win, you got to find it.
I've never really seen you go on tilt
No,
or really get mad about anything.
I don't think I ever really do. I mean, I feel bad, of course, when you're losing. It sucks. No one wants to do that, but try really hard not to. So.
You moved to LA partly. Same thing with our Boston. Came in here yesterday to be in the acting field.
I
right?
did, and now I'm a poker player.
And now you haven't really acted in a long
Ooh, no, not really.
time. No. Boston said he made the great revelation that he was an unbreakable.
Really?
Yeah, he was the comic store clerk, right? Yeah,
As
comic
an
store.
extra, like, did he have lines?
No, he had lines.
Really? That was his big break, huh?
Well, I don't know if you call it a big break, but you can look for him in Unbreakable. I know when I'm done with my Netflix round of The Real Cancun,
That's right. I know. I get those.
this time around I'm going to
really?
ship it back and get Unbreakable.
You haven't seen it yet?
The Real Cancun? No.
No, Unbreakable.
Yes, I have seen Unbreakable before.
I do not need blackjack.
Matt's going to raise it up here with King 9. Jim calls with Queen 3. Well, Matt's got top pair. It's a 3-flush board.
No, I saw first.
And Jim is going to bet.
I was there last week playing craps.
And Matt
That's
raises.
where we started first at playing craps.
15. Matt makes it 35.
I went down syndrome playing craps. I'd never seen that before.
Is Jim going to call here with Queen 3 with a 3 of
He
diamonds?
was with his mom, having the best time ever.
As you can see, it's actually about 50-50 with 2 cards to come because Jim has a flush draw and he could hit 2 pair. He actually has a pair and a flush draw here. And he calls. I don't know how he's going to ever know if a diamond comes if he's good. Well, he's good now.
Well, if Matt checks, he'll have an idea.
And now Jim bets 20. And it looks like Matt's going to raise again.
Good for him.
Going to make it 60. And Jim beats him into the pot.
Wow.
Well, Matt's got to know he's probably toast right now.
How does he know? How does he know?
Pot is quickly ballooned to over $200. Oh, and the river is a diamond, but the 3 of diamonds is going to play. Check. And Matt's trying to figure out, does he need to bet here to
He can't bet
win?
now after doing this.
Well-
I'd call him an heartbeat.
Well, he's going to try to probably bet a smaller diamond off the hand. I think that's exactly what he's doing here. Because if he checks it down and the guy has a small diamond, he knows he's going to lose.
I think Jim's going to call here after that.
You think so with the 3 of diamonds?
Well, the way that Matt just said that was the weirdest call ever.
Yeah, and look at this. Matt bets again, and he gets Jim off the hand. Nice
Really?
play in there by Matt. Great read there by Matt. Nice playing by Matt. Takes it down. Matt's played really well tonight. So you're also good friends with, oh, here we go with the chip count. Oh, we're going to see a chip count here in a second. You're also good friends with George Giorgio, and he had a rough night last night too, right?
He did, yes.
Aces against kings.
Kings against 10-3.
Yeah.
Yeah. No one likes that.
No, I really like George. Sometimes I think he doesn't know that.
Should I tell him for you?
Because I think he
Bart
gets upset.
likes you.
He gets upset with some of the things I say. But there is a guy that actually does kind of steam and takes losses
He
personally.
knows that.
Yeah. Matt's going to raise it up here with Ace King, and we're at these 2 again. Jim's got 10-8, 7-3-3 here. Matt bets 15, and Jim is going to call. Well, is he setting up a move? Here we go with these 2 again.
Jim likes his hands. He certainly does.
Turns a king, and Matt's good now.
Beautiful.
And now Jim is going to lead out. And I'm not sure if you can raise here if you're Matt, because he might have played a 3 in this manner. Let's see. If he checks you on the river, you can definitely make a value bet. Matt is just going to call. I got to tell you, if he makes a blockish bet here on the river, I probably raise a little bit. Well, the river's a queen now. You can't beat king-queen. And Jim is going to come out and bet again. And I think it's an easy call for Matt.
75?
He bet 75. Obviously, we're privy to the cards. Matt can't beat king-queen. He can't beat a 3. Remember, Jim played it as a check, call on the flop, and a bet on the turn. But he has absolutely nothing here. $75 bet. The pot right now is about 170. Matt's getting about 2.5 to 1. I'm not sure if the queen is changing anything in his mind right now. Because the only thing really he loses to is a 3 or king-queen. Pocket 7s.
You got a 3, that's a really good bet.
Matt calls.
Obviously, he's got a 3.
Jennifer says, obviously.
He has
Well,
a 3. No, he doesn't have a 3,
you are
Jennifer.
wrong, Jennifer.
People try to make bluffs in this game.
You know, 3.
Oh, you bet on
You were right, man. He did not have a 3. Jennifer and Matt are very good friends.
Yeah. Remember, he check called the flop and then led into the turn. Button moves over here to seat 6. We're halfway through the show. 5-5 no limit. 300 min, 500 max. Yellow chips are $5 chips. I'm Bart Hansen here with Nicole Pepe doing a little substitute commentary for Dave Tuckman.
Everybody's offering to get up.
whose seat are you trying
Email
to
here from
buy?
Danny Lee. Clarification. Jamie Gold is the agent for Johnny Chan. That's how he knows Johnny. Johnny has been coaching Mr. And this one's going to get chopped up, it looks like, and it does. Well, we
What
have
are
a-
the chip counts at the World Series
well, I'm
right
going to take a quick look at that right
now?
now.
All right.
Hold your horses. Jules.
Okay. What you do?
New player coming into seat 4. Sergio buying in for 500. Coming into seat 4. Looks like Alan Cunningham is up
And Jamie Gold is
about
down $1 million.
5 million. So let's see what happened here.
Yeah. I like it. I like it.
Are you rooting for Alan Cunningham?
I am. He's a good player, and I think he really does deserve it.
Yeah.
In this field of, where lucky is huge, it's nice to see
Looks
him
like
up there.
looks like he just made a huge call with ace high against Jamie Gold.
And he won, huh?
Yep.
Wow.
I'm working on it. That's why I said I didn't use one.
Ace 9 on a board of 8-8-3
No, he
queen
turned.
deuce.
He has a 9, not ace high. Ace 9.
Ace 9.
And the flop? 10-9 deuce.
8-8-3 deuce queen.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong flop.
hand. Yeah. Got a raise here by Jim. Oh, excuse me, by Julie with Queen Jack, and Jim calls a 7-5. Well, Julie's got a gut shot here to the 10. Can she use the king? She's going to bet. Jim is totally whiffed here, and Jim's going to be done with it.
Wow. Nice job, Cunningham.
Yeah, Alan Cunningham. Wow, and you know what happened is Cunningham won. Jamie Gold was up to $41 million. And Cunningham just won a $4 million, well, basically $4 million from Jamie Gold. He won an $8 million pot.
Wow.
Jamie Gold was up to 41. That is unbelievable. Wow.
All she needs to do to make sure that she doesn't have to drive home is drink like 4 more glasses of wine.
Yeah, exactly. That would take care of it. And then what do you do?
And we still have 6 players left.
If you wanted to ensure that I'd be right.
Do you think they make deals at this level? I mean, there's so much money anyway.
Somebody at the table, at my 510 table today, said that they made a deal last year.
Why?
That they made a deal last year. The top 3 made a deal. It's
Okay.
limped around here, off the camera.
Okay.
And the funny thing about that is ace 4-3 here on the flop. Pocket 8s and pocket 6s. Jennifer has the best hand here. Checked around. Turn is a jack. Jennifer checks again. I don't know if I've ever seen Sergio here before.
I have. I've seen him lots of times, actually.
I mean, on the show.
Oh, okay.
Rivers is 7.
Very nice guy.
How do you characterize his play? Eddie makes a straight here. It was open-ended. He never bet. It's a great spot to bet 5-6 there. Takes it down. How would you characterize Sergio's play?
He's a good player. A little passive, but good.
Yeah, somebody on the table was telling me that they made a deal. 3 people last year. Tex Barch, Daneman, and Hashem.
Yeah.
But the thing is that even if you do make a deal, you are playing for first place, and it's almost worth more than the first place money itself.
Oh, of course.
In endorsements. So it's not like, oh, they played it much differently because they made a deal and they didn't care. No, it's like you're playing for another $25 million probably,
I know,
just
at
if you
this
win
level,
first place.
I mean, all these people are millionaires. What do you think it's even beneficial? I mean, I'd be happy with $1 million. Do I really want to make a deal? Why not go and try to make $12 million?
Right.
You know, at this point,
Well,
this
remember,
year.
in deal making in tournaments, remember it's the short stack that is the one that needs to have the needs to be the beneficiary of
That's
the
what I'm
deal
saying.
because they're the danger.
But I'd rather, if I was a short stack, I'd rather just try and play it.
Right.
Try.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want
I mean, I'm getting $1 million anyways. I'm happy with $1 million.
Right, but if someone offered you, okay, I'll give you 2.1 instead of $1 million right now if we just make a deal.
No deal.
No deal. Ace, ace, 7 here. Eddie's got trip aces. He checked it, and there's a flush draw out there. Michael's got a flush draw. Now Eddie bets 15. Sergio calls. He picked up a king on the turn. And here we go to the river, and the river's a queen. Turn was a king, river was a queen. And look at this. Eddie checked ace-6, and now Sergio's going to bet 50 with a king. Is he betting as a bluff, or is he betting what he thinks is value? And Eddie's just in check-call mode.
I think since Eddie checked twice, I think he figures the king is good.
Well, Eddie did lead out on the turn. But the ace is good. And I think Sergio thought he was betting for value, or maybe trying to bet somebody off of a king.
Right.
It's a good bet to try to bet somebody off of a chop. If Eddie has a weak king there, if you check it down, you're going to chop it up with kings and aces with a queen.
That's right. Then you got a lot more to kick about.
Button moves over here to C1. But again, you know, it might be a little bit beneficial. You know, if I was in the top 3 and the difference was, you know, 12 million, 6 million, and 3 million, we all decided to take 6 million, or some sort of beneficiary deal.
Yeah, I mean, if that's going to be the case, sure.
Well, I think that's what they did at the end. But remember,
you
you are really playing for something, because if you
Right.
win, not just the impression that you win, but you're pretty much probably set for life in terms of
Right.
endorsements, and you never have to pay for any of your poker again.
That's awesome.
You know?
You never have to play poker again if you don't want to.
No, of course not. I mean, you would just do it kind of for fun. But supposedly Hashem is a really solid player, like in cash games as well as tournaments.
Really?
Plays big no-limit tournaments and big no-limit cash games. Now, Matt's got kings, and Jim is raised here with ace-10. Let's see if Matt's going to play it cagey. I would like maybe just a call here, but he is going to re-raise. Makes it 75 more. And look at Julie. She immediately folds ace-queen. Like I said, I'm not really one for slow playing, but against Jim, if you give him a little bit of rope to hang himself with, you can just make... This is what I'm talking about, what you see more in advanced play and higher no limit. If your head's up in there, Julie, who really... she's probably not going to call if she's limped in. Jim now raises, and he's been raising with garbage the whole night. If you've got kings, and you're fairly confident Julie's going to go out, why not just call, disguise your hand, and play the flop either as a check raise or a lead out or something, as opposed to re-raising and Jim just folds these 10. I don't really look at that as slow playing. I don't necessarily think that... I mean, some people say, well, it's kind of slow playing, but I don't really look at the definition of slow playing as pre-flop play. I think it's more just maneuvering the hand.
Whoa. Yeah, you're right.
I noticed my name is not on this wall, Bart.
Oh, do you want to sign it?
That was good, right?
Well, Julie's got ace-jack
I
here.
should be up here with Jerry Buss and your penthouse pet of the year.
Sonny Leone. Julie bets out here with ace-jack.
Oh. I wish the whole world could hear that, Ron.
Really. See, I was asking all those girls, because a lot of those girls on adult poker party were like, they weren't really porn stars. One of them was.
Okay.
But they were all like girl on girl.
Yeah.
But then I said, haven't all women been with girls?
No.
No? Really?
I'm going to say no. Maybe if you watch porn every day, you
No, I'm
think
not talking
that all
about
woman
porn.
has been
But you've
with
kissed
girls.
another girl before, haven't you?
No.
Never?
No.
Wow.
Yeah, just
Maybe
my
I was
mom, my grandma, my aunt.
Maybe I was just living in a great illusion.
I think you are. I think men are. I mean, when you watch porn, you really think like
I'm not talking
every
about
woman is
porn.
just like all over.
I'm
but
not
I mean,
talking
it gives
about
you this
porn.
illusion, Bart.
Eddie's got pocket deuces. He is raised. And Jim's got I think Ray agrees with me out there. He's trying to help me out. Jim is going to re-raise here.
I think when you watch Girls Gone Wild or Cancun Rio, whatever you're watching nowadays, I mean, it looks like all girls kiss every girl, but
Jim re-raised. Eddie called with deuces, and it's a horrible flop for both players. And it goes check-check. Turns at 10.
Oh, everybody.
What the hell is going on? It looks like Eddie just made some sort of... And check again. And the river is a 3. And now Jim is going to bet. Now he bets 50 on the 3. And Eddie has just been playing this real conservative, real passive. He raised with deuces, and then he called the re-raise. But I mean, if you're not going to hit your set, how else are you going to play that hand? Maybe bet the flop when it's checked you in position. No, but I wasn't talking about porn. I was just saying.
No, I know you're not talking about porn, but I think when you watch those shows, which men more often do than women,
Really?
they seem to think that, you know, every woman is like that. Like, oh yeah, that's normal, because you see it all the time.
Have you ever been to a strip club before?
No.
Really?
It's not like me. It was
I mean, and I'm a pretty open person. I'm not saying I wouldn't, but I just haven't. I think it's a lot of things girls just normally don't do.
Well, Julie's got ace king here. They're gonna chop it up here.
Oh yeah, the thing I pulled on you.
Chop it
And I
up.
was merging. Some king woman wouldn't let me merge. And I thought I was going to get into an accident, so I had to hang
And the
around.
button's gonna move over here to seat number 5 to Julie.
Let's just, oh, by the way, you want to keep knowing.
Hey, I went to like one of those kind of crazy party schools. I went
In
to Syracuse.
California?
No, I went to Syracuse in upstate New York. So, I mean, those sorority girls, they were crazy. So maybe I have kind of a warped sense of.
I am from Minnesota. It's different.
Yeah, but you went to college though, right?
Yeah, but there was not really a lot of girls kissing girls. There's a lot of guys kissing girls. There wasn't really a lot of girls kissing girls.
What school did you go to?
University of Minnesota.
Oh, well, that's a big school.
It is.
Are you kidding
Huge
me?
School.
That's a party school. It's not like you went to some 800 person school. You don't think there were any girls kissing girls at
Oh,
University of
I'm
Minnesota?
sure there were. None that I saw, though.
I won the $5.
And they're gonna chop this one up again. Jim's got queens.
That is the Minnesota Golden Gophers.
Yep. 2 chops in a row here. Big college hockey school, isn't it? Big college hockey school, and
Extra $5 that I bet that nobody had.
big into. I mean, sometimes
It was awesome.
football.
So I was betting that I wouldn't have
One year I was there, they went to state football, but
Yeah.
otherwise, no. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, college hockey in where I was from, the Northeast and in Minnesota, in like Lake Superior State, all those places.
$5 size bet
Hockey East and
that there wasn't any.
whatever conference that Minnesota was in for hockey. Got a raise here by Julie. King nine of diamonds. Yeah. And Michael is going to call here. She's called Julie twice with king queen, a troubled hand out of position. Here we go to the flop. See if Julie can follow up with a continuation bet if it goes miss. Yeah. See, it goes check. Check. Turn is an 8.
Please don't tell me this is an indication that all women are weak passing.
I'm
Have you
not
seen
saying
seat
anything.
1? I don't know. But,
And now Michael just bets and he takes it down.
no point waking him up. I can just.
Oh, you will not wake out. Unless you
Still, I knew I'd see the car a lot.
Button moves over here to Dr. BB.
Why'd you turn your phone off anyway? You never turn off your phone. Why'd you turn your phone off? You never did that.
Thank you.
Minnesota had like 20,000 students, something like that. Big school.
probably.
Yeah.
Maybe more, maybe 30.
Yeah, big school.
Huge
Big-
school. I mean,
bigger
I
than
went to a
Syracuse.
school within it. I went to Carlson, the business college there. So my
Yeah.
school was pretty small.
Well, yeah, the college within it, but you're still a University of Minnesota student. In St. Paul?
In Minneapolis. There is a St. Paul campus, but I never really went there.
But the main campus is in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing that I always think that sometimes goes crazy was because I went to a private school, I thought that there were some just crazier things that went on there with these kids with a lot of money.
Yeah. I think it's true. I think
$10,000 per diems from
in
their
California, I think you see a
Per
lot
month.
crazier things because kids need something crazy to keep them occupied, apparently, because they have too much money.
daddies. Right? Like USC,
I
you
was
mean?
busy,
like USC?
taking, working and then going to school and then back to work.
Yeah.
And then, I didn't have any time to kiss any girls.
Well, that's why I said, like, state colleges, you're going to find more of that where people are trying to put themselves through school, whereas,
So he put $60 against the 9. The very first thing I did is throw a 9.
like, all those privileged kids up in Berkeley. King 4 deuce here with a couple spades.
Down. And he starts chanting basically. What else? What else? All right. Great 5 from 10.
25.
And BB's going to bet 25 here with ace high. He's going to take it down. This game is quickly slowing to a grinding halt.
He turns to me and says, "Why'd you have to go and do that?"
right, yeah.
Yeah,
The putt moves over here to seat 8. It's funny because I never thought of Minneapolis as a college town. It's not really.
No, it's not. It's a huge city. So
But
just
Boston's a
because
college
the college
town.
is there, yeah,
Yeah.
it's not really.
But it's not necessarily,
The campus is pretty self-contained. That area where the campus is hugely college, but the rest
Yeah.
of Minneapolis is not.
Later on after that, I'm talking to a blackjack dealer.
Yeah, the area where Syracuse is nice, and the area outside it is a war zone.
That was like 10.
Button moves over here to C8.
Yeah, you have no control. Once you let people get this on.
And if it wasn't for Jim, we wouldn't see any hands being played.
Yeah.
raises-
So thank God for Jim.
He raises with Queen 5 of clubs. Now, Jennifer's got Ace Jack offsuit in the small blind. She just mucks it. Not even going to get involved at all.
Right, and vice versa. Yeah, everyone remembers when he loses. But no, I know what you mean about blackjack. It's just as likely to help you as it is to hurt you.
Ronnie's telling me that there's no over-under bet going on with the live announcers of the World Series saying 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. You know, it was an interesting thing, though, because I was listening to Sirius yesterday, the satellite radio. They were talking about how it is a pay-per-view event, and they had only allotted 18 hours. And that's what my TiVo says. That is what the schedule is. Far be it for a pay-per-view event to go over, because it's not something that usually happens all that much. 2 p.m. this afternoon, but if you're going to go to 6 a.m., oh, that's, yeah, I guess that's not quite 18 hours.
I was happy I lost it.
Button moves over here to Jennifer.
I didn't mind that at all.
Full player.
4-way action here.
Too bad I had to lift my own money with it.
I should be winning a hand.
Limped around 995 on the flop.
Don't let me down.
Betting 15.
So, I hope your first word so no.
And we're going to see a $15 bet here by Sergio. He's got 3 9s. And did BB call him? Did it go check call or bet? Yeah, it went check. And is BB going to bet again here? No. See, Sergio slow playing the 9. The river's a 3.
Betting 30.
Now Sergio's going to bet.
He was like totally done. Like you're totally through. And I was like, think that.
And everybody's out of there.
Well, apparently Scott said you sent us some really angry email.
Looks like they're going to do a 3rd season of GSN High Stakes Poker I see here too as well.
Yeah, why not? But they got to do something about those seat cameras.
How about those
annoying
commentators?
is
AJ
that?
Benza. I mean, I like Gabe
I
Kaplan.
love Gabe Kaplan.
Randomly send him some
AJ Benza.
some message on
Come on.
MySpace.
We'll go fly, Bart. Big
Hey,
time.
I
Big time.
was making my case to Gabe when I was with him a couple weeks ago.
What did he say?
He said that the reason why that they had AJ Benza in there as his co-host was because he was the co-host of E! Mysteries and Scandals, and the people at GSN thought that there was something mysterious and scandalous about poker, and that's why they had him as. And he wasn't joking.
You know
I mean,
what
that's
is so
stupid.
sad about the artistic industry that we live in here is that it's so non-original.
King Jack 6 here. Jim is going to bet here with a 6, and he's going to take it down. That's why GSM went after AJ Benza, because he was the host of E! Mysteries and Scandals.
He knows nothing about
I mean,
poker. He doesn't contribute
kidding
anything
me?
to the show.
I mean, I actually had a discussion with some people on 2+2 a couple weeks ago on a thread saying, wouldn't you rather have a team or a play-by-play guy that knew a lot about poker and have a play-by-play guy where it was like another sport, like someone doing football or baseball, that could adequately build suspense and emotion with the game because they understand the game and they understand the impact of each card and each bet and what might happen here and what might happen there. This guy doesn't have a clue.
No. I don't think he rarely even talks. He does the segues, and that's like,
Yeah, Gabe pretty much does the whole thing.
Right.
Yeah.
6-player.
6-way action here, limped around. Jennifer limped in with ace-jack suited, one off the cutoff. This game is playing ridiculously passive tight. Queen 10-5 here on the flop.
Betting 20.
And BB's going to come out and bet here with ace-10. Doesn't look like anybody has a queen.
Hits up.
But Jim is going to check call here with king 10. The turn's another queen. I got to tell you, I continue to value bet here. If BB's going to bet again, he bets 20. And I bet again here if I'm BB on the river. I bet again on a non-diamond river. Here we go to the river. The river is a jack. You still beat Jack 10 here,
Pair of 10.
Nicole, right?
No.
You still beat Jack 10 at the end there
No,
with
you
ace 10.
don't.
Yeah, you do.
Jack.
Oh, excuse me, you're right. You don't. See, that's why you're here. But I mean, yeah, I guess supposedly he might check Jack 10 there at the end. And BB checks it down. I was thinking that it was just the pair and the 2 pair.
Right.
But you're right, the Jack would have played there. Live straddle here by Jim in seat 6.
Straddle player.
Got about an hour left in the show.
So when you do the big shows, is it exciting? Does it fly by?
You're saying tonight's not flying by?
No.
No. You know, when I asked you to do this, we were going to do a 500 game.
I know, you bamboozled me.
Sorry.
Now look at what I got.
You've done some exciting shows, though, haven't you?
No.
Never?
I've never done a 500.
Have any of the smaller games that you've done, though, were exciting?
Have been exciting? No.
No?
No.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's your fault.
Jack 3 to deuce here, all diamonds. Jim is going to bet $10 with a pure bluff. And Eddie was not even in there pre-flop, so he's not going to get in there.
Everybody loves Bart.
Thanks, Jennifer. Button moves over here to seat 4.
I think she's being facetious.
Really?
You gotta spice it up, give everybody.
Somebody emailed yesterday and said that Boston added class to the show.
Really?
They should replace
Class?
Tuckman. Yeah.
You know, I like Boston, but classy is not the word I think.
Yeah. You got a point. Pocket Jacks over here for Eli.
Raise, make it 20 total.
Eli's going to raise it up here to 20. Are you as dumbfounded sometimes as the comments that come through our ear? Call here by ace-6 of hearts, and Jim is called with ace-deuce. Queen 4-6 here on the flop.
The station on the thread says that University of Minnesota is actually at 51,000 students.
Yeah, one of the biggest.
Wow. I didn't even know that.
Eli's going to bet 30. Wow, Sergio's going to call with second pair here, ace-6. Well, you wonder if Eli's going to fire again. There is an overcard to his jacks. The turn's a 10. But again, you wonder, yeah, see, Sergio's not going to bet, though. He just checks right behind. And the river's a 9. Eli checks again. And now Sergio thinks he's going to need to bluff at it.
Betting 50.
He's going to bet 50, and I don't know if this makes a lot of sense. Would he bet Queen Jack here at the end if he checked it on the turn? Might he bet Queen 9? Did he call with Queen 9? Again, we're trying to piece the hand back together. We can see the cards. Remember, Eli raised it pre-flop. He bet the flop, and Sergio called. And Eli folds. I would think that that guy had Queen 9 there.
Why would you check the turn if you had Queen 9? When it's check 2.
Well, he didn't necessarily think his hand was strong enough to bet the turn with. Kind of a pot control thing. Again, you play this game more than I do at this level. I guess pot control isn't necessarily all that important in this game with a short stack.
Really.
You probably would bet Queen 9 there on the turn.
Thank you.
Yeah, if University of Minnesota's got 51,000 students, probably the only two schools that are bigger are Penn State and Ohio State. Penn State's got like 70,000, and Ohio State's got like some ridiculous amount.
Yeah, I probably didn't see a quarter of those students when I was there.
Jennifer drinking some Merlot over there?
Player.
4-way action here.
She's having the most expensive glass of wine in the house.
What, Raymond?
Yep.
That's a Cabernet.
She didn't realize that she bought it. She said, I guess I'm having an $18 glass of wine.
Jack 9-7 here. Turn is a 7, and Jim's turn 3 sevens. Jim's going to bet 15, and Dr. BB calls. He's open-ended here with 6-8. Here we go to the river. River's a 4. And Jim is going to bet here again. BB is out of there. Dr. BB plays a lot of hours here because he kind of plays a tighter style. He says I have to really put in the hours to make the money that I want to make. It's our illusion, Nicole, and we like it just the way it is.
Speaking for men in general.
Yep.
Well, of course. I know this already. I'm trying to let you know, Bart.
Trying to educate
you aren't aware that it's your illusion.
Button moves over here to seat 6. Ace Jack here in seat 1. King Jack of diamonds for Jennifer from up front. She
Not
limps.
only did I not call you back, but when you called me, my phone was not.
Eddie limps.
And I'd never turned my
Matt and Jennifer are talking about who called who last.
They're really good friends,
This is
right?
very exciting.
I think they live
Tell
together.
me more.
I think Alan, who plays on the show, not that's Alan, but Alan, the Asian kid,
Yep.
he's their landlord.
He lives, yes, with
Yeah.
Jennifer and Matt.
And Matt has flopped the nut flush here. King 9-3. See how he's going to play it.
Betting 15.
Well, Jennifer's going to come out and bet with the king. And let's see if Matt's going to raise his friend.
I have a feeling
Yep.
he might.
Raise, make it 40 total.
Screw you.
You're sleeping on top.
Oh.
Ah.
Get it out of here.
Matt's kind of telling her, get it out.
He's doing it actually to be nice. He probably would have called if it was anybody else.
$14.95. Free for a week.
It'll be worth the $15 to see these. If you go all in, I might fold.
You can pay $25 now or
Probably
$15
not,
later.
though.
Probably, definitely not.
Go all in and go pro. What would you bet out with, though?
What would you raise me with?
Yeah.
Well, he's raising with a nut flush to be kind of deceptive about it. I like the play. I really like the way Matt's played the whole night.
What would you bet out with?
But I think that Jennifer's going to get out of here.
Yeah, I really don't think she's going to call this.
Yeah,
I
she
wasn't
folded.
gonna call.
She just wanted camera time.
Oh, I
See if Matt shows it. He's going to show one.
That was a 4 of spades I just saw.
Oh, 4 spades.
All I saw was the 4.
I was drawing dead to a boat,
There you go. Jennifer's right.
Did you have 2 pair? You said 1 pair?
and I had missed on the try.
A pair and a flush card?
Drawing dead to a boat.
Button moves over here to Dr. BB.
Oh, I did not.
Again, we got about an hour left in the show. So do you eat sushi? It's kind of been a little bit of a ritual that I've taken people, been guest commentators in here for sushi after the show.
Are you paying?
I think that I can handle that. Yeah, I think I can. Want to?
Yeah?
All right.
If you're paying.
Yeah.
I lost today. I'm not
Yeah.
paying for sushi.
Raise, make it 25 total.
Whenever I lose, I don't allow myself anything. I better win tomorrow.
BB's going to raise it up here on the button. King, queen.
About time for each card.
And your action would make kill on turn anyway.
Heads up.
King, jack is going to call here.
Ronnie says I need a chaperone. Is that true, Bart?
No, you're not. You're not Asian.
not
You don't have to
Asian.
worry about anything.
Ronnie, silly Ronnie.
6-5-5 here on the flop.
Betting 25.
BB's going to make a continuation bet, and Sergio calls just with overs. Well, BB's way out in front here. The turn's a queen.
Sergio is
Sergio going to make a
drawing
play?
dead.
Yeah, he's gonna bet now.
Betting 40.
Unfortunately, that play probably would have worked if
If
BB
he
hadn't
didn't
picked
catch the
something up.
queen,
Yeah.
yep.
BB calls the turn bet. And, like you said, Sergio is drawing dead. And
Hey,
River's a queen. And BB's got a full house.
Don't do it, Sergio. Nice.
I think
nice
Sergio's
check.
just going to give up.
BB's hoping and praying that he has a 6. Please have a 6 so you'll call my
Betting
value
100.
bet.
And BB's going to bet 100 here. And BB takes it down there with queens full of 6s. Did you ever see the World Series of Poker episode in 2004, the PLO episode where this guy Ted Lawson won and he didn't even know how to play the game? He really looked like a big goofball.
No.
No? So you don't know what I'm talking
No.
about? The other interesting thing that they were running an old rerun of the 2005 main event. Corey Zeidman, who's that specialist stud player who was on High Stakes in Season 2, he was the guy that made the straight flush against Jennifer Harmon and that she got so upset about.
When she had quads?
Yeah. No, she had top full house, queen's full. She turned a full house. He had flopped the bottom end of a straight, backed into a straight flush. She turned a full house, and then he rivered a straight flush.
Are you sure she didn't have quads?
Yeah. She had queen's full. Yeah, queen's full. Yeah. Jim's going to raise it here with ace queen. And then she was really pissed. But I thought that it was just some donk guy. But, I mean, this guy plays a lot of high stakes. I mean, I'm sure they know each other. He seems a little clueless when he's playing Hold'em, though. He definitely seemed a little uncomfortable on high stakes. Even Barry Greenstein said so, that he really didn't know what he was doing when he was betting.
Maybe that's a strategy.
Do you like the soybeans that they serve, too? Edamames?
Yeah, edamame? Yeah.
I like that.
Oh, you and that monkey.
Button moves over here to C9. We're doing all kinds of things right out of life. You know, it's funny. Somebody emailed us in and said, "Well, you and Boston were really on topic yesterday, and you and Dave seemed to go off topic." Well, I got to tell you, nothing against Nicole, but if Boston was in here, I don't think we would be any more off topic than we are now, or on topic than we are now in this game.
On topic? I heard you guys talking about pot and something. I mean, maybe you just like the topics you guys are talking about.
Queen 10-7 here on the flop. Eddie's going to bet. He bets 20. What I mean by that is the game sometimes dictates some of the wild tangents that we go on.
Well, I think that's kind of why you're here, isn't it? I mean, yeah, it's great to hear, okay, this person has this, but we can pretty much see what everybody has. You have to add a little excitement, Bart.
The low ball tournament's over already.
Thanks for the email, William Frick.
45-minute rounds.
Yeah.
See if we can get a card player update here.
Break structure in that tournament goes.
Oh, and someone's posting the top 10 schools, fall of 2005.
Minnesota,
Arizona State,
second.
Minnesota, Ohio State, Florida, Texas. Penn State isn't even there. How could that be possible? I was always under the illusion that Penn State was the biggest school in the country.
That Arthur was played one.
Huh.
That's the only reason why Arthur wasn't played. We played at the game.
Yeah, that's what it is, an illusion. That's what Ray
You have a
says.
lot of illusions tonight.
Yeah. Limp.
My grandpa loves George, man. I go
Jennifer limps. And we are going to see 5-way action here.
Coco is good, but it's north.
8 deuce 8 here on the flop. See if Jennifer can throw a bet out here with pocket 5s in position.
Betting 15.
Jim is going to bet with ace deuce. Jennifer calls.
North.
You think the Porters are serving sand?
Heads up. Oh, man.
Turns a queen. Now, is that going to scare Jennifer away?
Yes.
Think so? Just a $15 bet here on the turn.
Oh, that was it?
Oh
maybe
my
not.
God!
What?
I just looked at the chip count. Jamie Gold is up to 54 million.
Wow! But Alan Cunningham is second now, 14.7. But he has a huge, far way to go to get up to Jamie Gold.
Jennifer calls, and the river's a 9. And Jim's going to bet 15 again.
That's it?
Remember,
She has to call.
Well, he bet
15?
15 on each on the flop, on the turn, and on the river. I don't know if that's enough to get her out.
No,
See, it smells like he probably has a deuce, or he's got something like pocket.
If he bet a little bigger, he could have got her off easily. But
Or maybe he's got. Well, the only problem is if he's got pocket 6s or 7s, he has would beat 2.
I get the same ball back, but there's like.
Jamie Gold, 54 million. Jeez.
And she calls. And she's got him again.
He took out Richard Lee, who was in second. That's why he got so many
Yeah.
chips.
Let's see how that went down.
That's like queens against jacks, I saw.
And now they're down to 5, and now Jamie Gold has more than. He's got about 60% of the total chips.
Wow.
With 5 people left.
Wow.
Don't tell everybody about that.
That's good.
Yeah, now it might not go to 6 a.m. at all. Like I said, it's true.
Small blind.
Jamie Gold calls from the cutoff, and Richard Lee raises from the small blind to 1.2 million. Gold re-raises to 4 million, and Lee moves all in. Gold immediately calls and shows queens. Lee turns over jacks.
Gold
and
immediately calls.
does
Wow.
not improve. Well, they are playing 6-handed, but and with his chip stack,
Yeah, but Lee was in second.
was he in second?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how he got so many chips.
Well, yeah, but that's why I always treat that. I don't like multi-way pots.
There's certain situations.
Ace 4 queen here. Jim's got ace 8. Best hand.
15.
Gonna bet 15. Like I said, if it wasn't for Jim here tonight,
Okay.
we'd be really having a slow night.
Yeah.
Sergio check calls with a wheel draw, and Jennifer's called with a Broadway gut shot to the 10. Turns a deuce. Sergio picks up a pair. Jim's going to bet again.
Riley lied.
Jennifer's out of there, and Sergio's going to call again.
The other story is it brings more shame upon myself.
And I got to tell you, I still might value bet ace 8 here at the end, thinking Sergio has a queen. The river's a king. Sergio checks. Well, Jim's going to check down, but the ace is good.
We have ace.
The ace is good. Wow, what an absolutely dominant performance, huh? With this guy, I mean, how long has he been in the chip lead for now? Like 3 days?
Yeah, forever.
Wire to wire? Since day 4, yeah.
He has some friends here, and I was talking to one of them, and said he had talked to Jamie.
David Kelsey's real close.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah,
talking about.
Yeah.
He said he had talked to Jamie, and Jamie was doing rough the first few days, and he called his mom and said, you know what, I'm just not getting any cards, whatever. He said the minute that he hung up with his mom, he just started going on a rush, and
Yeah.
he never looked back.
you're right there. They have a trend statistic, and he's up 16 million from the last chip count. So you're right. He just immediately calls.
That's
I mean,
what I'm saying.
yeah.
It's like, and he turns over probably like, yeah, I got you. It's like, with queens, like, wow.
Well, we don't know the whole story. Gold might have been bullying around the table where if he re-raised, the guy might move in with jacks thinking it's good. So Jamie's going to be like, well, I'm going to call with queens because, I might have the best hand here. Three-way action here. Ace, 9, queen, couple spades. Checked around. Turns a deuce.
So even if you're out in fifth, which is we're down to the last 5 people, what does fifth place get?
Probably somewhere around 3.5 million.
So yeah, you're all doing all right.
Yeah. Cunningham, man, it's good. I mean, he does play in high-level cash games, but he does play a lot of tournaments too. So this is probably going to be by far his biggest score. Obviously, it's not his biggest score.
Anybody's biggest score.
But I mean, it's serious money. Ronnie said it would be really interesting if Cunningham gets heads up with this guy, and it's true. But at the same time, Cunningham can be a guy who's 5 times as good as Jamie Gold. But if Jamie Gold's got a 7-1 chip stack lead,
yeah, it's a little hard to come back from that.
It's.
And if Jamie Gold's getting the cards.
Yeah.
Raise 15 total.
Matt's going to raise here. He's got King 7 of diamonds. Julie calls, and so does Jim. Well, Matt makes a bet here. He's probably going to take it down. But he takes a card. Turns an ace, and now Julie checks, and I assume Matt's going to probably bet out here. Wow, Jim bets on the ace. Remember, Matt checked the flop. Assuming he's got something like ace-king, and now Jim comes out and bets. I was assuming that Matt was going to use that as a scare card. And Julie looks like she's going to check raise with ace-jack.
It worked for her before. Jim laid down when she did that last time.
Is this hand really strong enough to check raise, though?
It's probably because she hasn't played a hand in like an hour.
Jim is out of there. Julie takes it down.
Thank you.
Button moves here to seat 5. Julie. Again, we've got some kind of exciting things going on for the archive subscribers. Next week, we're going to begin drawing 1 random person per day. We're going to be giving out a bobblehead. We are also bobblehead of your choice, I believe. Bobblehead of your choice, and we're also there's a Hoyt Corkins bobblehead too that's interesting with a cowboy hat, and we're also going to be doing the promotion of guess the winner, the person that guessed the biggest winner of the night, plus as a tiebreaker, the amount that they win will win cash sometime next week in a game next week.
Predetermined amount.
That's right. Secret. Well, Jim has raised it $5 more out of the small blind. Thrilling stuff here. 3-way action. Ace 5 ace here on the flop. Checked around. Turns a king. Eddie's got a straight draw now. And Jim bets out with queen high. He bets 20.
So you used to be a little bit of an actor yourself, didn't you?
I was, indeed. I haven't done that stuff in a while. I did a couple soap operas when I came to town.
Did you? Wow, I want to see them.
I was actually, if anyone really wants to go fishing, because I've tried to find stuff on this, I actually was on a one-shot reality show on Fox called Anything for Love back in 2003. And I think the air date was August 2nd of 2003. I've never been able to find anything. It aired on Fox for one night. And I was on it. I won a bunch of money on Hollywood Squares one time.
Ooh,
That's
really?
when I went to the Caribbean. Yep.
That's how you got your bankroll.
No, it wasn't really how I got my bankroll, but I was on Hollywood Squares at the end of 2004, and I won. I think it was $17,000 plus a trip to the Caribbean.
Wow.
And actually, that's how I met Ronnie's wife. I'll get to that. Ronnie's ex-wife, actually.
Okay.
I'll get to that in a second. Ace King 10 here. I do not think that Jennifer raised with ace queen of diamonds from up front. I tell you, I'd be raising with some of those hands. She bets 10. That's probably going to get it done. Ronnie, our card boys, his ex-wife was the the casting director for Hollywood Square. So Fern, I remember her well. It's kind of a small world like that, you know.
So now you just have to meet the casting director for High Stakes Poker. Get your picture in. Let's do it, Bart.
Get an email here from Michael Stolley. He says, "Hey Bart, had to miss the show tonight in favor of the World Series of Poker pay-per-view. After 6 hours, I've determined that Ali Nijad has nothing on you as an announcer. As for Phil Gordon, I'm undecided. Keep up the good work, and do us all a favor and wish Jamie Gold death." Really? 51 million versus 14.5 million.
Apparently he's going for Alan Cunningham.
I got to tell you, though, I mean, just for my own self-proposed, or for the show, I almost want to see Jamie Gold win because it seems like we've got some strong connections with him, where he would definitely come in here. Although we do have connections with Alan Cunningham, he's been on the show twice as well. So now Julie's raised it with tens. Jim is called with queen 10. Eddie's in there with king queen. Jennifer's in there with ace 9. And Eddie has flopped 3 kings. And he checks it, of course.
Oh boy.
Now Jim's open-ended in seat 6. I'm surprised here. I understand that Jim's played it really laggy all night, but I would take a card here, kind of like what Corporation Mike does. Although, if you bet here and Eddie just check calls, now by Jim betting the flop, maybe he allows him to take a card on the turn. Now the turn's a 5.
Yeah, you're getting Irwin.
Oh, if Irwin comes in the game, that will liven things up. See, now Eddie's not going to give him a free card, though.
Betting 100.
You know, on the show, I heard you guys talk about how you love the just call and then bet out in the turn, but it's very transparent to me. I mean, I don't know why you guys love it, because to me it just seems like, okay, you've got the nuts. You just called me, and now you want me to call you.
No, I wouldn't necessarily call and bet on the turn here with a king, but it's more of an issue of if you have somewhat of a marginal hand, like say, a guy raised with ace king and the flop came 9 high, and you had pocket 8s. You check call the flop, and now you lead in the turn. You don't give the guy a free card on a non-Broadway turn card. It's more of a it's a different way to play it. But I don't necessarily use that play all that often myself.
Right.
It's actually pretty rare that I do that. William Frick says, "Hey Bart, what Asian girl would you like to see Liz Lou French kiss?" I'll have to think about that one.
My guess is she's a porn star.
Maybe. Let's see.
Raise, make it 25 total.
Dr. BB's going to raise it up here to $20. Jennifer's going to call with king queen suited.
Did you hear what he said?
Sergio's going to call.
King 10 off, right?
And so does Jim. And we're going to see 4-way action here. $80 pot to the flop. King 3-8. Well, Jennifer's got the best hand. Let's see how she's going to play it. She's going to come out and bet out here. BB was the raiser. And BB has flopped nothing. And he's going to make a continuation bet.
Absolutely nothing.
He bet 60.
However, it is BB, so now she's going to worry he has ace king.
Well, she doesn't really have anything else going backdoor for her here. Again, this might be a case where you check call and then bet into the turn. Well, she's going to check raise
here. If he checks in front of you.
I don't. Well, she's from up front though. You might check call here if everybody folds.
Front of him in BB? Oh, okay.
Yeah. She's going to check. I don't know if king queen is good enough to check raise because she doesn't look like she's that deep. So basically, she's played it tight all night long, and now she's pretty much committing her whole stack here with king queen on this board against BB. I mean, it's going to work this time. I can't get. Well, she's got
enough, I think, to find out where she's at. I think it's good. I mean, BB comes over the top, she lays it down.
What if BB calls? Then what?
Then you play it very passively.
That's always the issue when people check raise with draws and check raise with kind of weakish hands. That if you get called, you're almost frozen out of position.
And she hasn't actually played with Dr. BB a lot, so she doesn't know what we know about him.
Let's take a look at another chip count here. $5,200 on the table. Matt in the lead with 1,000. Let's take a look at the differences. And Matt's up 550 here. Julie down 600.
And you're out.
Looks like Jamie Gold just lost about 2 million since the last chip count. But he's still at 51 million.
Yeah, he still has plenty.
Yeah. We got another raise here. I thought Irwin was coming into the game. That would be great for this game.
Who's Irwin?
Irwin is a kind of an action player in the 3 to 5 game. Now, who was the raiser here? Julie raised it with Queen 3 of spades? Really? Well, she's flopped the flush draw. She made it 15 to go, and now she's going to bet.
I wonder, how do you do that?
She's going to bet 20 into an $80 pot. Now, I don't know if anyone can even call them.
Nobody has anything.
Wow.
She got a little bit lucky.
I mean, talk about the tightest guy in the table, Michael over there in seat 8. Are you kidding me? This guy hasn't played a hand like in a year. Well, Eli is going to call. Eli has a gut shot to the 5.
Now he has open-ended.
Now he's open-ended.
He's going to bet out.
And this is, again, kind of another way you could play this, that he check called with the intention of making a move by just leading into the turn, not thinking Julie had anything. On such a weak bet. He bet to 80 now. Now, Julie does have a flush draw, and she does have an overcard. She's way out in front here. Eli doesn't have much. And she folds. And Eli takes it down.
The river was a spade. The 10.
She would have made it.
Yep.
She would have made it. Oh, looks like the World Series of Poker went on dinner break. So now everybody's here with Live at the Bike.
Yeah.
Us here with Live at the Bike. Well, you're missing some exciting action if you missed it. Button moves over here to seat number 1.
I need chip, please, Donna. Yeah, I love the nuts against Number 8 playing 200 behind.
Where was Eli on that chip count? Because it looks like he's done almost just as well as Matt, actually, if not better.
Raise, make it 30 total.
$30 raise here by Jim. He's got ace-king. And Sergio is going to call. Well, you said that Sergio's pretty solid. He's been pretty loose pre-flop so far. A lot of speculative hands out of position, heads up. Jack 9 he's got now.
I didn't want to say it.
10-10-6.
You put me on the spot.
Oh. I'm going to use that cough button. Jim is going to bet 50 here. Yeah, it looks like Sergio, he's got a suit and a tie on. He's probably coming from his job just here to have a good time. And,
right. He's a very nice guy.
Yeah. Doesn't look like he's doing anything crazy. We just talk about how some guys appear to be tight, but their pre-flop standards really aren't all that tight, kind of like a Dr. Beebe. Dr. Beebe likes to limp in with a lot of hands, kind of regardless of position. You know, he won't call a raise with ace-rag, but I never see how it's profitable in a no-limit cash game to limp in with ace-6 in second spot like we've seen him do a couple times.
But you said you will if it's suited, and that really doesn't add a lot of value to it.
No, I didn't say it.
You didn't say that?
No.
I thought you did.
No, I just asked you.
Oh.
No, I don't play ace-rag suited from up front. The other thing, too, is I think really adds to your game is if you don't play suited connectors in the first 3 spots, because they're so difficult to play from out of position in a no-limit game. 7-8 suited, that's garbage.
Again, in a passive table, I will. If I know no one's going to raise, absolutely.
In a limit game, you mean? Or a
no, even in a no limit.
Really?
Sometimes at some of these tables, like this table tonight, I might call 7-8 suited under the gun. Look at this table.
Well, Michael's opened his game up. He's raised. And look at this. 4 people have called him. And look at the crap that they've called him with. That's unbelievable.
People are finally realizing that there's no action tonight.
King 10-3 here. Well, if Michael bets here, he's going to win it. And he is going to continuation bet.
Good for you.
He bet 60. I mean, for Jim to call Michael out of position with ace-10 offsuit, it's just... Michael has bet 60 here. But again, I think Jim might be hamming it up for us a little bit here, just playing a lot of hands, which I'm very thankful for. And Jim is going to fold the best hand.
Wow, really? Just because Michael hasn't played at all, that's
well,
why.
I mean, wouldn't you probably the second pair there?
But, I mean, if I were Jim, I might not. I don't know. Have you seen him today?
Well, I'm sure Jim doesn't want to give away money, though.
funkiest thing I've seen.
Yeah, it's like the Asian guy at minimum had a big fair.
Yeah.
It's like, that's like the worst thing you could possibly have.
Absolutely right.
More like
Kev Math on 2+2 says, Najad's okay, but Gordon's been excellent. And that's never, the whole issue that I always bring up with poker commentating is I never necessarily have an issue with the color. Although it's kind of indeterminate what the WPT guys do. Who's the color, who's the play-by-play. It's just kind of whatever. Vince and Mike. But
Are either of them the color?
that's what I'm saying. It's just... But usually with these shows, I never really have a big problem with the color guy. I think Helmuth does a good job. I think Gabe Kaplan does a good job. But I think what's lacking out there is a guy that understands poker, who can do play-by-play, who can bring emotion and excitement and understanding to the game.
Do you
Like
have
I said,
that, Bart?
AJ Benza, I want to puke. Ace, ace, king here on the flop. 2 aces.
Sell it, Bart. Sell it.
Raise. Make it 10 now.
Look at this. Jim bets. And Julie min-raised. Jim bet 5. Julie made it 10.
Betting 15.
And again, I want to actually point out, because it's interesting, anyone who's a really... let's leave this board up here for a second. River's a 4. Julie bets again. And Jim calls. We have a great card program. But again, it's kind of a slow night. And anyone who's a die-hard Live at the Bike fan, I want to point something out. For some reason on that flop, it gave Julie the check mark. And I think it just happens to be a little bug in the program.
He doesn't think he can possibly win.
Yeah, he can get running kings, right? Am I missing something?
He can, unless maybe it knew that somebody folded one.
No, I don't think it necessarily takes into account the discards. Yeah, see? Good work, Ronnie. Now, to me, right there, if you catch running kings, you win, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember
Just a little thing.
Are you sure? Maybe it does take discard. Or maybe someone called pre-flop and...
No, but I'm saying the program does not take the discards into account.
Even after people fold?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, they should do that. Write to your editor.
Right to my editor.
Yeah, it happened like 5 times within a 3-week span.
Got a $25 raise here.
Look
by
at this
Eli.
action. Wow!
Button calls with Jack 10. Jim
4
calls
callers
here.
of the $25 raise.
And seat 8 calls. $100 pot 4 ways here. Queen 9 deuce. Well, I mean, that's as good a flop as you're going to get with Jack 10 with a rainbow board here. Queen 9 deuce. Let's see how Sergio's going to play it. He's on the button. And Eli is going to make the continuation bet. He's going to bet 60. And I love this play. Look, well, I thought that Sergio was going to raise there for a second. He's just going to call. I mean, if he made a min raise there, I think it would really freeze a tight player.
What's up?
Oh, man.
Sometimes when you raise with your draws. Here we go to the turn. Turn's a king, and Sergio's there. But again, you probably would want to see the 8 there against pocket 10s. And Sergio's all in here. Got the Broadway straight.
Yeah, we need a deck.
Sergio takes it down. Jim is going to rebuy here for 200. Button moves to seat 5.
Need a green deck.
Julie.
And you can call. Set.
I was wondering what time they were going to do dinner break if they started at 2 p.m.
That's the only thing that I'm afraid of. Yeah.
So, again, if everyone's flipped over here to Live the Bike, a couple promotions. We're going to be giving away a bobblehead a day next week to a random archive subscriber. And stay tuned next week. We're going to be doing another Guess the Winner contest where whoever guesses the biggest winner of the night, plus whoever gets closest to the amount of money they win, will win cash. So,
It's a secret.
stay
How
tuned.
much?
Yep.
You have to watch.
Again, you can email us at live@thebike.com. I'm Bart Hansen. With Nicole Pepe, we're playing 5-5, 300 min, 500 max. No limit hold'em. We have a little over a half an hour in the show. Tomorrow we'll be doing 10-20. Boston will be back in here. And Dave will be back on Monday. And you might miss me for a little bit on Monday because I'm going to be playing in the 415 Omaha Legends Tournament. I'm going to try to win the crown from Shirley Rosario. She's going to defend. Try to take it from her.
Will she be here?
I would assume. I would assume. That's on Monday. Got a big no limit hold'em tournament tomorrow. I believe it is a no limit shootout, $300 shootout. And no, I do not believe they're going to make the first round 6-handed. And they're not going to refund anybody if they show up late. Mr. Negrano, special man, gets his money back from Harris.
The first round, 6-handed. What?
Talking about an issue Negrano had where he missed. He lost. He got blinded off his table because he showed up late because they made the first round 6-handed.
Wow.
Didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he got his money back.
But you didn't.
Right. Yep.
That was one of the few movies.
And then on Sunday, big no limit tournament, $200 multi rebuys, 100,000 guaranteed.
Right when we got back from Morocco.
Tonight's tournament was single draw ace to 5 low ball. A game where that even like makes the stud high low game look like a game full of high schoolers. Yeah.
There probably was a whole 10 people in that tournament.
That's probably 100.
I don't remember, but I can look it up when I get home.
That's pretty generous.
Limped around here 4 ways.
No, it wasn't.
10-6-4 here with a couple of diamonds. Jim's going to come out and bet here with Queen 10.
I haven't been there in a year, but they used to have a...
Anyone else? You know, Tuckman's been talking a lot of trash about Al Barbieri. He won last night. He won the stud high-low tournament here at the
You
bike.
won a grand total of 12 grand.
19, actually.
What?
19,000 was first prize. Turn was a deuce. They did chop it, and I think he won 12 grand of it.
Well, they already have the 2-5.
How do you feel about that?
5 minimum.
Get 60% of it, so. And Sergio calls. He called with a gut shot. He's picked up a pair on the turn. And the river is a 6. Let's see if Jim throws another kind of little bit of a value bet out. Or is he scared that maybe Sergio's slow playing a flush and it goes check.
I don't even know where that is. Is that by the bay?
You want to be fisherman from Rio, Pip from Chicago?
Oh,
I'm looking forward to going home and watching it on TiVo, the final. I can drive home and listen to my Sirius satellite radio in my car. Listen to channel 125. Listen to, John Vorhaus do the play-by-play. Speaking of John Vorhaus, who smacked John Vorhaus around on the show when he was on here a couple months back?
Who?
I think it was you.
I did not smack him around.
Yeah, you did, actually.
I don't even know Vorhaus.
always.
You check raised him with like ace rag and he folded like a set. You remember that, don't
No, I don't know what he had.
you? Oh man, I told you about that right
I'm
afterwards.
a good player.
Yeah, you can watch that show in the archives. Maybe somebody can tell me what date that is. That'd be really cool.
How will they know?
Someone's gonna go look for it.
Oh.
Sergio's got Jack 10 of spades here against Dr. Beebe with pocket
I
eights.
think the last time I was on the show was like 5 years ago.
King 10-3 here.
He knows how to bring it old school.
Ooh, and Beebe turns a set.
Goes by ice.
Trips.
And he checks it again.
Oh, I thought it was a
I
10.
used to go by ice,
But then you move back.
And now Sergio bets. He bets 65. It is a third diamond. Look at the look on Beebe's face.
Math professor.
yeah. Now they call it.
That is going to be a little bit of fun for the archive subscribers to watch Nicole Pepe take out John Vorhaus on this show about maybe 8 months ago. He's
I
doing
don't think
the,
I took him out.
He is doing the play-by-play on Sirius
Don't say
Satellite
that.
Radio.
It's a sky man, you know.
What?
It's not a. It's a king.
It's Nate.
It's a king of hearts, though.
I don't get it either.
Right.
But
Not a king of diamonds.
Ah, yeah, Ronnie has the board up incorrectly again. The king of hearts there, so there is no flush out there. And Nicole picked that one up.
I'm so smart.
He check raised at 100. And if Sergio calls, he is drawing dead. BB check raised the turn here.
Carey hasn't dropped it.
And I don't think he's going to get involved here with the second pair, is he?
He's dropped a couple of duds, but he needs to resurface. You know, Travolta just fell to ashes for a while.
And he's out of there. And Dr. BB takes it down.
Yeah, he came in with
I'm not saying that you did anything wrong. I'm just saying that you beat him on the poker table, fair and square. That's all. Might be fun for some of the people to go back and watch that. Although he did win our Live at the Bike charity tournament in Vegas. So
What did he win?
we were giving away $500 to the charity of choice. He chose UCLA Alzheimer's Fund or something like that. I don't know the official name of it, but.
Nice job.
And actually, you can check out Gavin Smith's charity. He did a lot for our show at, I think it's forpeyton.com, spelled out. FORPEYTON.com. bankrolls.com.
They didn't make the movie?
Kind of started with the idea that he was going to play people heads up if they made a contribution, and then kind of evolved into doing kind of a one-table tournament. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And besides, you can see Hallie and Monsters Fall.
Five-way action here.
Okay.
Ace 9-4 here. And Sergio's going to bet out here with the second pair. Now Matt's got ace 3. Is he going to make a check call? No, he's not even going to get involved with the ace 3. So if you play an ace suited, he's not really looking to hit his ace.
No.
Doesn't even get involved.
Although I would, if I did play that hand, I would have bet out.
Just kind of see where you're
I
at
want
in
to
a limp
check,
spot.
yeah.
Oh, Kevin Spacey.
Killer Poker by John Vorhaus. Although it sounds like John Vorhaus is actually doing a pretty good job on the radio from what I've heard. I haven't heard him do any commentary, but he does do that show. Button moves over here to seat 8.
In the money,
Raise make it 40.
$40 raise here by Jim. 6-3 offsuit.
I think you put it like that.
And he is going to take it down.
It doesn't get contaminated on the way all the way.
Button moves over to seat 9. That's right, he beat Liz Lou too, heads up.
I was just going to say you haven't said a word, but you just didn't.
That's when Ronnie accelerated the blinds and levels where they were all in on the final hand, heads up.
I think I've heard her say
Ronnie was tired.
Yeah, he dealt. He wasn't a dealer. He did a good job. Vegas. Yeah, we were all tired. It's funny, we all stayed in a house in Vegas, and Ronnie, he was asleep pretty much every night at 11 o'clock. Up at 6 a.m. Isaac's saying at 9 o'clock. Three-way action here, limped around. King 10-9.
I didn't see Man Move.
$15 bet by Jim, and he's going to take it down. You never had somebody like on opposite schedules? You ever lived with somebody where like you came in after
And
partying
they're
or something,
getting-
and they're getting up and going to work, and you're going in
I have.
from the bars or something?
That sucks.
I remember when we had a day off, I slept from like 4 a.m. to like 2:30 p.m. Ronnie was ready to go to bed that day when I woke up, pretty much, He had his nap. He'd already been up for like 10 hours.
I don't know how I'm going to do it going back to a normal 9 to 5 schedule.
Oh, man.
Doesn't suit me.
That's the only bad thing about your job.
Yeah.
Like I said, Nicole Pepe now, one of the new No Limit hosts, is going to start the 3 to 5 game here in the morning. Yeah, I just couldn't I couldn't hack it, especially coming from where I am. Try to be down here at 9 a.m. It would just be. I cannot wake up in the morning.
At least traffic won't be bad, and I really can literally get up at 8 and leave at
From where
8:30.
you are.
Yeah.
Okay.
But still, 8 is very early for me.
Jim
I
looks
like
like he's raising every hand. He's raised with King 4. Seat 8 is called with Queen 10 of Hearts. Ace 7-5 here.
If I'm Jim, I like that ace. I'm going to bet it.
He
But
doesn't bet
he
it.
checks
Wow,
it.
that's really surprising.
Let's Michael steal it.
I mean, he's the pre-flop raiser. If he bet, he would have taken that down.
I think the only person he's really weirded out about is Michael, because Michael's played about 4 hands.
Yeah, it's a totally common thing.
I mean, sometimes I wake up to go work out, and I don't feel like waking up at 10:30, and I hit the snooze bar, and I sleep back till noontime.
I haven't used an alarm in years.
Well, I still use an alarm because I would just sleep until like 3 p.m.
Really?
Yeah, I would just keep going, but
I sleep till, 11. If I go to bed at 4, I'll sleep till noon. That's it. But
nothing like waking up at the crack of noon, as Pajato says.
still 9 hours of light out there. It's summer, people.
Why? Yes, I did.
$20 raise here on the button with pocket 5s.
Nicole is about to fall asleep in the booth right now.
Thank you, Jennifer. I am. Thank God it's freezing in here because that's keeping me awake.
Is it really? You think it's freezing here? I
I'm
was just
freezing
about
my
to say it
balls
was
off
hot.
right now.
I was just about to say it was hot in here.
What? Oh my
Are you
God!
serious?
I need my
Oh,
boots. I need my moon boots.
Well, Jennifer Call was 7-9 here against Eli's Rays.
That's because she said I'm getting bored here,
She just checked folds.
and she was winning. Jennifer, call.
Oh, I had to beat.
Get something.
You don't feel the heat radiating off of me?
No.
I am hot.
Take your shoes off. Try that.
Power of your donkey ass.
Even the kid that I said I have.
Isaac's cold too. Do you see my toes? They're freezing. I have flip flops on, so.
Oh, look at this. Kev math on 2 + 2 says
Yeah, thank you.
Nicole pushed Boros off a hand a few months ago. I thought it was like earlier this year. It may be January 19th, 200 no limit. Oh,
It may be because I really feel like I haven't played on live
It's been
in
a while.
long time.
it's been a while. Yeah.
Is that the last time I played when I did that?
I mean, I don't know the exact date, but yeah, it has been a while. But that might sound right. I don't know what Vorhaus was doing around here though at that time.
I don't even know who he is, so honestly, I'm clueless.
7s, 5s, and Jack 8 in this hand.
Wow.
Set of
How's
7s
this
here
set?
for Eddie.
What do you think it'll take for him to lay this one down?
Well, no one has an ace, so he can't really get paid off that much. He's gonna bet.
If a club comes, you think he'll lay it down?
Nah, not quite. Yeah.
Mitts 20. And BB calls. Well, BB's got the nut flush draw.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't quite see that. Here we go to the turn. How about the 6 of clubs? Ooh,
Oh,
the
the
turn's a
jack
jack
of
of clubs. BB checks.
I'm not too worried about Eddie, though. He'll lay it down.
And Eddie checks right behind him. That's kind of a way to take a card and try to fill up. And the river is an ace. So now maybe we can see some action here. BB bets.
I think he's just going to call. Here's my guess.
No, I think you lose too much value by just calling here.
Okay, but this is his number.
I mean, it is the top pair
If
pairing.
this guy was a girl, you would be going crazy right now.
Oh, this guy's played like a girl.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-mm.
You are, however, very cute, Eddie.
And he is going to raise. He's going to make it 50 more. And BB calls, kind of resigned to the fact that he's
Yeah.
probably beat.
Crying call.
7's full is going to take it down here. There it is. 7 full takes it down. The other thing about that, though, is that, what keeps Eddie from pushing really hard is if the river is a 6, I think, if you're deeper stacked, you raise there, but you almost have to be careful because you don't have, obviously, D nuts, because BB might have, he might have slow played aces up, and now he's got aces full, and you don't beat that. If the 6 came and paired the river,
Excuses
I think Eddie
for
should
your
have
men.
raised. For my men. Got about 15, 20 minutes left in the show. It's been a real ball buster here.
Good stuff here. Good stuff.
So you getting hungry?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready for something.
$25 raise here by seat 8, pocket 10s. Matt calls with ace, queen of diamonds. And so is Julie. Julie's in there with 6s.
6-10 queen. Let's see some action.
I believe they will spread the highest games they can get.
7-8-5 here.
Bet it.
Well, Julie's open-ended here. Pocket 10s is going to bet. And Julie is going to check call, it looks like. Well, here we go to the turn. Turn's a deuce. This gets into the spot here, Nicole. We were talking about on the video blog that if you're deep stack with pocket 10s here, you almost might be forced to check the turn. And he did check the turn in terms of controlling pot size. Well, now the river's a 4, and now you just get away from it. Now, I'm not saying in this game you should check the turn, but if you're deeper stacked against a tricky player from up front, you might be forced to check the turn with 10s to control pot size. Julie bets 60 here. Now, this is an easy lay down here for Michael. He can't beat 2 pair. He can't beat a straight. He can't beat a set. I don't think Julie was going to bet out on a set here with the one card. If he calls. The only thing he beat here is pocket nines, right? Look at the board. Well, you know, if you're going to give a card on the turn, you got to be able to give away from him on the river. Now look at this. Kevin Math says it was October 17th of 2005.
That sounds about right. Long time ago, because I totally don't even remember.
Because he was looking through in his description of the October 18th hand, or October 18th game said. You had a brief appearance by author John Vorhaus, who didn't give a demonstration of killer poker by going call, fold in one of the few hands he played. You had Nicole, one-time live at the bike commentator, who amused herself with a Sudoku puzzle while taking chips from Vorhaus and seeming to soft play others.
Wow. Apparently got bored and decided this was a one.
Hey, this means that you're winning for the day.
But you were soft playing other people, huh?
Probably the same thing that happens in these games, and you see it here, is you get bored. You sit there, and you sit there, and you sit there.
That
and
makes you
finally
soft play
have,
somebody?
My car.
Probably I just was check calling or something. I don't know what he means by soft playing, but
Probably means you were going easy on somebody.
probably. There's probably somebody there that I knew.
Yeah.
Finally you get bored and you have enough of it.
Sergio bets out with an open-ended straight draw, and Jim calls with a pair of jacks. Turns a 3. Check, check. River's a 3. Sergio bets again, and that's going to be enough to get Jim off the hand.
And you have to tell the cab driver every step of the way how to get
That is going to be enough.
No, Jim won.
I mean, that's going to be enough, to bet
To get Sergio off the hand.
Sergio off the hand, because
Sergio had nothing.
I actually mixed that up. Jim bet with the jack. Sergio was open-ended.
Yeah.
The other way around. Sorry about that.
So they call this table 0 on the board.
Again, you can email us. A couple minutes left. liveathebike.com.
And they call that random 816 game that they pushed into Sarah's podium, table 103.
Pocket 3s for Jennifer. He's going to limp in. Sergio limps in with ace deuce. Julie's going to limp in with ace rack. Jim comes in. Checked around here. 6-way action. Well, king jack 8 here. Michael in seat 8's got king queen. And he did not bet out of the big blind with king queen. Turn is an ace, and now Julie and Sergio outturn him.
Yeah, I'm noticing that now too.
What, they're moving?
Yeah, they're moving.
And neither player with the ace bets either.
Yeah.
And Jim is just going to try to take a shot at it here.
King has black eyes.
If you're Julie there, why don't you just try to bet there on the cutoff with ace 3 if you're in there?
They should get the cards like naked.
And Sergio is going to call, and Julie does not overcall. Jim is drawing dead. And the river is a 10. It's a one-liner to a straight, and Jim is going to bluff at it again. Sergio only has a bluff catcher here. But again, if you look at the river, what would Jim bet the river with? Would he bet with 2 pair? It is a one-liner to a straight. And that's what Sergio's trying to figure out. I mean, Sergio, he has a bluff catcher, but what would Jim bet the turn with? And now bet the river with. Sometimes that doesn't go through people's heads.
Right.
Yeah, but is it like Buff Daddy in there too?
Yeah, but nothing's as funny as Vince Vaughn and a bar brawl. Like, most of those other people you expect to bet for Vince Vaughn.
And here we go with the final chip count of the night. $5,400 on the table. Matt with 1,000. Eli with 750. Let's take a look at the differences. Matt the big winner with 550. Eli only up 250. And Julie down 500. Got an email here from Fryman Stephenson. Sounds like a nice Scandinavian name. Thanks for a great show. I just subscribed recently and have been inhaling the archives like they were pot.
Port.
Sadly,
Oh.
I have never tried pot,
Just
but let's
kidding.
say that I inhaled it like tobacco. Anyway, you're doing a great job. I really like the show, and Barry Greenstein was a guest. Maybe I'll find more shows with him. Could you try to get Daniel Negreanu? I eagerly await the bobblehead. Best regards, Manny in Iceland. I got to tell you, I think there's a really good chance that Negreanu is going to be on the show, possibly play on the show, because of the work that David's been doing in Vegas this week.
Really?
Yeah.
Is he talking with him?
He was in a helicopter ride with him yesterday, him
Wow.
and Daniel Negreanu, and he was just interviewing him. Now, BB has bet out here with the deuce, and Sergio has check called here with a club draw. Sergio's got overs as well. River's an ace. Sergio going to bluff at it? Nope, he missed, and the deuce is good. As I was telling some of the viewers, David did some work for the Poker Channel where he basically had a dinner with Phil Locke. They mic'd him and Phil Locke up for 2 hours.
Okay.
Now, hopefully, what that's going to turn to is Phil Locke might come here every Wednesday and play the 2040 No Limit game. Negreanu's going to come here and play and commentate. I don't know if he's going to play, but he's going to at least come here in the booth. We're definitely going to get Phil Gordon in here. Barry Greenstein kind of made kind of a commitment. Well, I don't know if you call it a commitment. He said he was going to be here again.
I heard his show was one of the greatest.
Do another come around when he's here at Legends. So we're going to be looking at a lot of huge names coming through here. Smokers die young. What are they talking about? What smoke? What type of smoke? Smoking crack. Button moves over here to seat 8.
He's flirting with Donna.
Yeah.
Did you catch that?
Raise, make it 20.
Julie's gonna raise her.
show that.
Ace 10 offsuit.
Cute. Donna's like, what?
Julie takes it down. Got about 10 minutes left in the show. Button moves over here to seat 9 to Jennifer. The lovely Jennifer Bankston. Are you guys friends?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Talk to each other outside the casino a little bit.
Not a lot,
Talk about
but we hang out.
Girly issues. Poker issues.
Girly issues. That's what we talk about. we kiss all the time. So. That's what we do in our free time.
Very bad things.
Jim's gonna raise it up here with 9-7 offsuit. Wow. And Sergio's gonna push it in with the good old Jack 5 suited.
He actually does have Jim dominated. That's a sad, sad part about it.
Well, he doesn't have him dominated, but he's slightly ahead.
Yeah. You're right. Slightly ahead.
They're all. You're glistening with sweat from racquetball. Very bad thing.
That's the good old WPT all-in game I talk about at the Bellagio. When you raise with Jack 5 suited, or you move all in with Jack 5 suited and you get called by 10-7.
And 10-7 wins.
Yeah, but you have Jack 5.
Oh.
So you play the board out and you're about a 60% favorite to win that hand.
I like how as soon as we get out to Irvine, you're like, oh, there's 24 minutes here. I might sign up. I immediately call bullshit.
Another email from Manny saying, by the way, I'm actually watching you guys live for the first time. It's usually not advisable since it's 3 a.m. here in Iceland. But I have a day off tomorrow, so I can indulge. I also finished 3rd place in a home tournament tonight.
Congratulations!
Awesome. Ace, Queen, Deuce here. I've actually had a couple discussions about Iceland on the show before.
Really?
Yeah, in Boston, they used to have deals with Icelandic Air where you could pop off for a weekend because it's only about a 3-hour flight from New York or Boston.
I'm going to be honest with you, I don't even know where Iceland is.
Oh, come on.
I can't lie. I cannot tell a lie, Bart.
Turn is a jack. Well, Jennifer's got top pair. Now she's picked up a royal flush draw. And she bet 70.
I saw your picture in card play, right?
I gotta see the river.
It's actually in between the east coast of the U.S. and Europe, right in between on the way, say if you were flying from New York to London. So you can fly from Boston to New York right to Reykjavik for a long weekend. And they have natural hot springs like in the snow or in the ice.
Ooh.
Like bubbly,
I like
hot.
it.
In cold weather, with all the steam and stuff. Very romantic.
Yeah, but do you know where Constantinople is?
In Turkey?
I don't know. I just wanted to say it.
Well, it's not called Constantinople.
No, it's not anymore.
No.
But I remember.
I was a geography meet champion. I mean, you can bring all the shit on. Bring it on.
Then I don't want to. How about spelling? You good at spelling? I'm really good
No,
at
I'm
that.
not.
Oh, okay, good.
I'm always asking
How
somebody.
do you
to
spell?
My B was geography B.
Yeah.
Limped around here.
And I pointed at you, and then everybody saw it.
He didn't wait. He played lowball tournament. What the hell was he doing?
Ace 10 Jack here.
Maybe it is in the tournament.
No, he just told me he didn't play.
Bet 20.
He's trying to recruit.
$20 bet here by Michael with the ace. That's probably going to get it done.
The operation's on its last leg, isn't it?
Well, Sergio calls here. I'm not exactly sure what he's calling with. Well, he's got a gut shot to the 9.
He'll be back.
Turns a Jack.
I know, but I'm saying
Michael's still out in the lead.
project.
Again, it goes check, check here, and the river is a 4.
Who is it?
And as you can see, Sergio rarely looks like he's going to bluff on a misdraw, which doesn't really do it. And Michael takes it down. Now, when we were talking again about the video blog, there's a new video blog up over in special features. And the other thing I want to mention is that we have a sample up as a podcast. There's a link to it in special features on the left-hand side of the screen. Soon, once it gets approved by iTunes, we will be up and you can subscribe as a free podcast.
But you won't get the whole show. You'll get
I don't know. I think it's just going to depend on what Evelyn puts up there in terms
highlighted
of.
clips.
Well, it depends on what she puts up there for content.
The best of the best.
replays, stuff like that.
I don't know. You can actually watch things in iTunes.
Yeah, video podcasts, right?
Very exciting, this technology.
Base, make it 30.
$30 raise here by
They
Michael.
call me Sunshine sometimes.
He's going to be.
And Michael takes it down.
Swing by here when he gets home.
Oh, well, we can do something tomorrow night then.
I think I amazed my middle school principal when I knew what the capital of Madagascar was when I was 12 years old. It was the winning. It was the winning question. I actually don't know what it is now. I forgot.
They say you lose brain cells every year.
Well, yeah. That and whatever I was
Proof
doing
positive.
at that time.
He sent a mass email about it?
Do you know where Madagascar is?
Yeah, actually, I think I do know where that one is. Ronnie says it's near Iceland. But I think it's north of Africa, isn't it?
No, it's actually off the southeast coast.
Yeah, don't ask me any more questions.
Down to the right. Isaac's pointing down to the right. Yeah.
Ah. I did, however, see the cartoon.
Three-way action here. Ace, Jack, Deuce, couple clubs. Sergio's got Ace, Queen. He's going to push it in. Jim is out. And Eddie is out. Anybody else been listening to Sirius Satellite Radio on the World Series of Poker stuff?
No.
Besides me?
No.
Just a general question out there to all the viewers.
You're the only one.
Yeah. The circuit has been in the morning. I think it's on Sirius 122, Scott Huff's show. And I don't know if they're planning on continuing to broadcast that on Sirius or just continuing it as a podcast. But they will be here broadcasting in a couple of weeks from the Bicycle Casino.
Who?
The circuit.
Who's the circuit?
That is the eternal question. The guy, of course, if you're unfamiliar with the circuit, it is a podcast that Card Player puts out with interviews with some of the top players and top commentators out there.
Who does the interviews?
Scott Huff, Gavin Smith, and Joe Seabach now.
Oh, I did read that in Card Player. It's ringing a bell.
Did you read the mention of us being one of the best shows I've ever done?
I didn't read that.
How did you miss that? If you read
It was in there? Okay, I did read it.
It just went right through you.
I know.
But moves over here to seat 6. Time for a few more hands. I'm glad Nicole was in here with me because it would have been like a slow death.
Thank God I was here and freeze in this igloo. Whatever I call.
And you were stuck, but you didn't really want to play anymore anyway,
No,
right?
I was stuck, so I was going home if I didn't come in here.
Yeah.
Enough.
None of that doing the right way when you're stuck leaving as opposed to trying to prolong your session.
No,
right?
I hate when
Just your
if
wins.
I'm running bad. I just rather start fresh tomorrow.
Yeah. Michael's going to make it 25 to go. He's got pocket queens. Well, Jim's going to call with 7-6 offsuit here on the button. Heads up. Here we go to the flop.
Hey,
Set of queens here for Michael. Now again, you know, against a guy like Jim, I'm never a proponent of slow playing, but against him, in this one particular case, you might just try to, like I said, get him to bluff at it. He's the only one at the table I would do that with. I would hope any other player who called my raise would have an ace, and I would just fill the pot up. Oh, and this is going to be the last hand of the night.
Say it ain't so.
I got some tuna sashimi calling for me. Calling my name out. Says, Bart, eat me. Eat me. A little soy sauce, miso, soup, wasabi. She's looking at me like I'm what the hell? Yeah. Pocket fours over here. The small one. Well, what else is new? Last hand of the night. Empty around. 7-6 with a couple of spades. 8-5. Julie's got I like this straight draw because I think it's somewhat hidden. Up and down, open-ended. Eli bets 15 with ace-7, top pair, top kicker. Julie calls. How about Julie represents a spade here on the turn? The turn's the 5 of spades. How about she bets and takes it down? All right, Julie. She's going to bet here. And let's see if this is going to do it. She's actually picked up an open-ended straight flush draw.
That she did.
If she had 8-9, she got there. If she had a spade draw, she got there. It's a nice bet by Julie. She takes it down. And that's going to do it for us.
Nice job, woman power.
Remember, next week, you win this. Random drawings all next week for bobbleheads. And stay tuned tomorrow. Boston will be back in here. 10:20 no limit. Thanks a lot, Nicole Pepe. You're awesome.
welcome, Bart Hansen.
You're awesome. For everybody here in the booth, good night, everybody, from Live at the Bike.